to rock and roll. Oh, mama, got lots of combinations. Oh, mama, got lots of rock and roll. I want to be with you when you are happy or you're blue. I want to be with you. Oh, mama, got lots of combinations. Oh, mama, you got lots of rock and roll. You got it, you got it, you got it. Oh, mama, got lots of combinations. Oh, mama, got lots of rock and roll. Here we go, got down, I've only loved you for a lifetime. I've only loved you for 1,000 years. And when I say I love you, all my love is here. Yeah, when I say I love you, all my love is here. Oh, mama, got lots of combinations. Oh, mama, you got lots of rock and roll. All right, one more, one more, one more. Oh, mama, got lots of combinations. Oh, mama, got lots of rock and roll. Here we go, here we go, here we go. You got lots of rock and roll. You got all these combinations. Our love's my only hope. Ow! Hop!
Hello, everybody.
Well, hello.
Good evening, Eric. How are you?
Good evening, Jeffrey.
Are you
I'm
feeling it?
fine, and you?
Oh, I'm good. I was actually quite surprised that I started playing the intro music at a random time, and it ended exactly at 8 p.m.
It is a very good sign for the evening, and I hope that the viewers trust in our innate timing.
Innate timing,
not
yeah.
inert timing.
Right?
Yes.
Totally. So welcome, my friend.
Thank you so much.
So
This
we're
is called Shima and Wine Talk. So
Yes.
are we supposed to do a compie or something?
I guess so, yeah. So welcome everyone to Shima and Wine Talk number 4. Eric Jacobson is my guest. And please share with us what you're drinking tonight, sir.
Oh, well, I'm not a big connoisseur of the special wines, but I'm just doing a agave kind of Pinot Grigio type of thing with ice in it, like you drink on the beach at 5 o'clock in the afternoon on the porch watching the waves come in.
Totally naked.
Yeah, sure.
Yep.
Yeah, if that's what you want. It's already starting.
Wow,
no,
so
I like.
it's not like a wine spritz. That's not a wine spritzer. It's like a wine.
There's no spritz, but it's just to keep it cold and light.
Yeah.
And you know, I like a little bit of red wine sometime, and I could go ooh. But right now, I'm feeling more, I don't know, beach summer afternoon type of thing. Until 2 days ago,
It was
the
summertime.
mornings were beautiful in our not that I was drinking wine in the morning, but it felt like the beach in the morning in our Kichijoji home.
Nice.
I would have ginseng tea and mixed in with regular orange pico or something.
Oh wow! Everybody's listening to us, but they're not seeing our faces. Okay, now they're seeing our faces.
Oh,
Hey, everybody.
hi, buddy. Now you see our faces.
Yeah, they were hearing us, but they weren't seeing us. But that's fine, right? It was
Well,
kind of like
there we are. Yes.
like a radio
Oh,
show.
yeah.
Yeah. So anybody who's on Facebook, you can come over to the YouTube stream and watch us on YouTube, because the Facebook is kind of a limited. It's like just my cell phone pointed at the TV, so it's not super interesting. But there are links on Facebook for the YouTube stream. So
Yes.
here I have a glass full of ice. And in that sort of beach spirit,
Mm-hmm.
I've got some Shima, right? The Okinawan Awamori from the island of Okinawa, where there's beaches everywhere, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'm gonna have some of this, and then we
That's
can do our
like,
kampai, hey?
What is that? 40% or so?
30% actually.
Is it 30?
Yeah. Yeah. It's very nice. Okay, put that back in the scene there. All right, are you ready for a kampai, my friend?
Oh, yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Come
Thanks for
by.
having me on your show.
Yeah, thanks for coming back again. Part two, hey?
This makes me a regular.
Yeah, man, you're like my special guest.
Well, you said it was the fourth show, but that's the fourth show in this
In this series. Yeah.
Wine Talks, right?
So we did 12 wine talks in the past.
Okay.
Back in the day before the 311 disaster, hey?
Right.
And then just started it up again with added the Shima.
Uh-huh.
The Shima.
Right, I saw that. I thought Shima was a friend of yours. I thought you were going to have a sidekick.
Right, we should, hey?
No.
I need a sidekick, but it's a social distancing time, so yeah.
Right. You could dress up a bottle
Right?
as your sidekick.
So how are things with you, man? I mean, how was the whole situation treating you?
Well, I think the situation basically started in January, right when the ship came in Japan, and we heard about it on the trouble in China. And actually, my mom was on a cruise in January.
At that same time.
And got off the boat at Saipan and had already been planning on coming to visit us here.
Uh-huh.
And so she goes and gets off the boat, comes here. I drive. By that time, I was already not wanting to ride the train, although she was, she's 80 something. So I wanted to get a car anyway. I picked her up. I was already wearing a mask. Picked her up. She had a wonderful week here, but we were watching the news about the boat, the ship at the dock with all the first people in Japan who were sick, and saying, well, thank God she wasn't on a sick ship.
Right.
And but after that, I actually had a bunch of music making work and illustration work right up through the middle of March or so. So as people were starting not to get out of the house, I was like, life was pretty normal up until the end of March, and then those jobs stopped. And then I realized that, yes, indeed, all of the events that I usually do on weekends and holidays totally disappeared.
Right.
So that was That was kind of shocking. After all my work that I already had, I realized, oh, nothing's going on.
It's all gone. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. So how do you deal with that? I mean, is it weird or?
Well, luckily, some of my songs are still on TV, so I still get a little bit of income
Uh-huh.
from TV music, which is very, very fortunate. Very fortunate for that. So I'm not too worried about paying rent as far as that goes.
Yeah.
And I'm a homebody. I've always liked to stay home anyway, as far as that goes.
Yeah.
And we conveniently moved 2 years ago to Kichijoji, right near Inokashira Koen.
Mm-hmm.
And there's lots of green. We're surrounded by green everywhere. I don't know if you know, but Inokashira Koen is not just a pond, but it curves over and goes to the Ghibli Museum.
Okay. Yeah. It's beautiful. It's really beautiful.
And we are right in the middle of that V-shaped park where there's a little neighborhood there. And so it's a good place to have to stay home.
Yeah. It could be a lot worse, huh? Yeah. I'm really lucky too. I've got a. Yeah. You know where I am with the.
Yeah, I know where you
Yeah.
are. Yeah, your place is fantastic. And there's
Okay,
nobody.
heaven.
I mean, it's fantastic.
Yeah. Can't complain, right?
So that's cool. But on the other hand, since I stopped, since the TV show stopped shooting, and I had my song making work dried up, and after a couple of sudden YouTube videos that I wanted to make, that ended. And to be honest with you, I was kind of in a creative slump where I didn't necessarily want to do or make anything. And I just kind of woke myself up only 3 or 4 days ago and started a new project.
Oh, really? Cool. What is it? Is it a secret?
Not really, but it's a song that I sent you and that I sang for you the other day. But I'm making a video of it, and to me, it's kind of it's almost a protest song. It wasn't written about what's happening right now, but it was a little bit political in nature, and also just how people should deal with each other when they disagree with each other.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You don't generally do political stuff, though, do you?
No.
Yeah.
That's true, and for a number of reasons. But I've come close a few times. I mean, I think you can tell how I feel when you listen to the music. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. It's a great song, hey? You're not going to play that for us tonight. You're saving that for the YouTube release, or?
Well, I'm not going to play the video. I was actually up until 4:00 in the morning last night, trying to get it to a place where I could show it to you. It's got Tane-chan on the bass is
Nice.
also on it, and but I wanted to add some key words. I don't want to write the lyrics all out the way they are, but I want to add key words. And the software that I was trying to do it on, it just didn't cut it. And so finally, I got myself Final Cut Pro. And
Oh, nice.
I decided to just take my time. I'm not going to rush it. We'll be okay. But I think it'll be a good video. And I definitely want to get it out there before the election in America.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Because
That's going to
it's
be
about-
fucking crazy, right?
Yeah.
Cool. So should we play? Yeah, I'm just hearing about Tane-chan. Should we hear one of your songs first?
If you want to,
Yeah.
There's the possibilities are limitless.
We got
but if
lots
you
of
play a
time,
song,
yeah.
I could definitely, I love talking about myself.
Yeah, right? I mean, it's like, I don't even need, like, I could just sit here and just look at you and you'll just...
I promised myself I would control myself and not really participate. But when I
Cool.
think of the millions and millions and millions of people who are watching the show, I
Yeah,
just
right?
get
Herman's watching. He said it sounds good.
good.
I can do this cool thing. I can put this on the screen, actually. It's pretty cool. Herman Bartlett. Sounds good. Sexy.
Well, you never know. Does Herman Bartlett want everybody to know that he says sounds good?
Well, it's social. It's a social world, man.
Okay. See, I don't know the rules about these things.
Oh, he's like,
Feel-
yeah.
Oh.
I'm learning too, man. Yeah. I mean, I think I just got Instagram the other day. I've had
good
it.
for
You know, my friend was like, "Don't you have Instagram?" And it was like, "Yeah, I do, but I don't know the password and stuff." So
Yeah.
I haven't
Yeah.
posted in a while.
I have Instagram, and I have I've had one picture up for the last 4 years, I think.
Herman said it's okay to put his name up there. He says it sounds good.
Okay,
He also
thanks,
says hi.
Herman. I
Yeah.
thought that's what you would say, but
Right? Yeah. It's the social world that
a
we're
little
in. Right?
more hip to these people.
So what? So it's yeah. I mean, this whole coronavirus thing, and you know, because I lost tons and tons and tons and tons of work. Right.
Right.
I was gonna do so well this year that I wouldn't have to work again. Right. Maybe not that well, but yeah. I mean,
But the whole, yeah, because a lot of stuff that you were doing is probably Olympic related. Right?
Yeah. And they were like, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? We hired tons and tons of people, and then it was like, okay,
wow.
we'll hire them next year, kind of thing. So, yeah. So just having to deal with all that, and then dealing with the virus stuff, and
But you're
everybody's
okay as far as paying rent goes and things like the basic hunker down, feed your kids.
for now. Yeah. I mean, I need to. We're finishing the company's kissa, the company's fiscal year and stuff. Once that's done, my accountant's going to help me. I think I can get 2 million yen.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Right.
in support from the government, because
Are you a Yugen Geisha?
yeah. So and I made I made maybe 10% of what I made last year in April.
Mm-hmm.
So I met the 50% mark.
Exactly.
So yeah, hopefully be able to get 2 million yen and then be able to hold out
Well,
for a
that
couple more
helps.
months.
Definitely helps.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. And a little work here and there, doing some web work and things here and there.
Yeah, I got a call from an old assistant director for Ego de Sobo that I worked with 20 years ago, who's now a director for another show. And so I just did a little bit of English idea advice for the show. And,
That's cool.
it was nice that he threw that my way. And it's nice to know people and have a history of, I mean, it's like you will kind of work from the inside in Japan, and you know a lot of people, Japanese people doing Japanesey businessy things, and I think that's the one thing you told me when we first met is like you like to hang out with Japanese people, and if you hang out with foreigners, you like to hang out with foreigners who know what regular Japanese society is all about.
Yeah, hey? Yeah. I mean,
Does that ring a bell? I think you said something like that.
I think I've probably said that. Yeah. I mean, what's really something interesting for me, like this year, because we hired a bunch of interpreters and translators, right?
Right.
And for me,
come from all over the world.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like South America, Mexico, Russia, just like the whole gamut, right? And maybe half Japanese, right? But the coolest thing is that with all of them, I can speak either Japanese or English, and it works.
Right.
It's just like that.
Right. They're interpreters.
Yeah. Right. So it's actually having a bilingual, bicultural shared experience, which is so uncommon.
Oh wow! Right.
You know.
Yeah.
Some people can speak some Japanese, right? But Not
For most of these people you were hiring, were they mainly domestic? I mean, domestic based, living in Japan from the beginning, or did you find them in some foreign country and said, "Come on over"?
most were living in Japan. One or two people came from overseas. Yeah,
Hmm.
there was one woman who was living in Thailand, I think.
Oh
Yeah,
wow.
and
Uh-huh.
she came over for it, and she got here, and then it was just like it was all canceled, right? Yeah, yeah.
Wow,
So it's yeah,
that's
crazy.
rough.
Yeah.
That's so. It sounds like probably you were more affect. I mean, because you worked with so many people. I basically am an independent contractor, and the event companies that I work through, they're having a hard time. But I got my events, and they're all gone. But then I have my music making stuff, and that trickles on in a way. But it
Hmm.
sounds like your stuff is, and you're responsible for a lot of people, right?
Yeah, yeah, it was. Yeah. Well, next year will be again. Yeah.
Right.
Hopefully, if it all works out. Yeah. But
Well,
yeah,
hopefully.
that was a big thing. I mean, for my personal, I mean, if I didn't have that and it was just normal work as usual, I would be in a much worse off situation.
Ah, right,
You
right.
know. But yeah, it's hard when you're because you hire people and you make a contract with them, and it's I feel from my end I want to take care of them the best that I
Sure.
can, right?
Right.
And then it's just something completely out of my control, but I felt really bad,
So
and
were most of the people very understanding, or
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I mean,
Wow.
we're trying to build up some new business, working together to do online translation, interpretation, and things like that. Do some online seminars, and
Hmm.
so we're building up something new out of that. So it's a chance to start something new. But it's just been so hard to move forward, with all that's been happening, because there's so much. Everybody is so emotionally stressed, and then you have to deal with that. And, depending on your level of sensitivity, it's harder or easier for people, right? But
Right.
yeah,
Right.
it's been a hard couple months. So where is your creativity taking you now? Because
Well,
it's
that's
kind of like
it.
having a void kind of forces you to be creative in some ways, right?
Yeah. Well, and so at first I had a woman I used to know in Boulder made this creative Facebook page
Mm-hmm.
and put up some kind of inspiring original songs, and I had just happened to um, uh, record a pretty new song,
Mm-hmm.
the one that I gave you, the black and white one. And I made it in black and white because she made hers in black and white. And
Mm.
I thought, oh, that looks cool. And it was a song that I wrote within the last 6 months or so. And I was playing a lot, and that was really nice. And I put it up there. I got a really nice response. And I was thinking, boy, it would be nice to keep up things going. And a lot of people were writing new songs, but I hadn't for like a month and a half. I was like nothing coming as far as new songs goes. So
Yeah.
except that this one song, "Ring a Bell," means a
Mm-hmm.
lot to me, and I've been trying to put it out. I've been
Mm-hmm.
trying to put it out in a meaningful way. Um, so that's what I'm working on. That's what um, gets me going right now.
Yeah. So it's like, yeah, it's the whole the sort of the dry times, right?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know.
It was definitely yeah, dry times and arid and not much. Well, if you let yourself worry about it, then you're gonna drive yourself crazy. But luckily, my wife Ayako was also she sometimes seems like a someone who's be nervous about this kind of things, but she's been taking it really nicely. Maybe because of her yoga practice is getting
Mm-hmm.
more and more advanced. But
Mm.
she was like, "Let's just take it as it comes." And for a month or so that I could have been a little more worried, I've been you know, we're lucky. We can eat. We don't have to worry about next month's rent, at least for now.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah. Depending on how long it goes, right?
Depending on how long it goes, and I'm trying. I'm being really careful. I don't want to get this bug. A friend of mine got the bug who lives in Atlanta.
Oh, really?
She
Shit.
was she was down and out for 3 weeks. She
Wow.
didn't, and it came back like twice.
No shit,
And
like malaria, huh?
it was. She thought she was better. She got bad. She thought she was better, and then finally she went on Facebook and said, "Hey, everybody got it," and then it got bad again.
Fuck.
So it's not something to poo-poo at, and it is real. And one of the things that bothers me is the people who are saying this is not real,
Yeah.
because it is real to a lot of people.
Yeah, it's a messed up situation, yeah. I mean, apparently you can be asymptomatic and then get something afterwards. Like there are people who, and then you get it and you keep it. Apparently, like it's like
Yeah, well, I don't want to get into the details
okay,
of that
yeah,
kind of stuff because I mean,
yeah,
there's something new written
right,
about it every day, which is natural because it's only been around for
yeah,
6 months to a year at the most. So
yeah. Not
uh,
knowing's the hardest part, huh?
they're saying something different all the time,
Mm.
but it's real. I believe it's. I mean, it's real.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So yeah, I'm the same. I'm staying inside,
Yeah.
staying in my
So
backyard, right?
yeah,
So
watch
Kelly's
TV.
here, says hi. April's here as well.
Yay.
She's asking if what is this? I have to make it bigger. Is there a site you can recommend for composers who want to share? She says she's been making lots of music recently.
Ah.
Yeah. April, where are you now, April? April is down in, I want to say Kawasaki or Yokohama. Yeah. No, it's good you're staying safe though, man.
Yeah. Sharing stuff. That was April saying that.
Yeah.
Who said that?
April.
Yeah. Um, I am a friend. April Prado. Is it that April?
April Perkinson. She's in Kawasaki.
Oh, really? I don't know if
Yeah.
I've ever met April. Nice to meet you.
Hey,
Um,
April.
uh, I have my Boulder artist group, and uh, see what the. I don't control it. We'll see what happens with that. But gosh, if you're on Facebook, I mean that's what I do.
Yeah, she's my
I
friend.
just have a
Yeah.
Facebook or my YouTube channel, and I got a grown-up YouTube channel, and then a kids YouTube channel.
Cool,
But
man.
boy, I mean, what do you do? I mean, I don't know the answer. Jesus
Yeah,
Christ,
right? Yeah. It's a wild time, huh?
that's a bad answer. That was a terrible, terrible answer. I'm sorry, April.
April says nice to meet you.
Oh,
Too. So let's play one of your songs. Want to do? Should we go with what Weeping Willow?
sure.
Is that a good start?
That's kind of the newest one, and it's
Yeah.
pretty mellow. But yeah, that's a really nice song.
It's black and
I'll
white.
talk about how it came up after the song. But
Yeah.
yeah, take a listen.
Okay, so I'm gonna mute
I
our
recorded
audio.
it in early March,
Early March. Okay.
I think.
Okay, here we go. So this is Eric Jacobson performing Weeping Willow.
I went down to the Weeping Willow. I said thank you for being mine. And then I climbed up that Weeping Willow to be home again, to feel fine. There is no other place for me except this big old tree. And when I climbed up the weeping willow, I said something about the time, how it feels to be now forever, when I'm here with you in the sky. But someday we both will die, and the wind blows rock and roll, and you move me, move my soul, and you are not afraid, and neither am I. I can see everything from here, and it looks just fine. I can see everything from here, and it looks just fine. Weeping Willow. They want to be like a song. So what
Actually,
I thought
dude,
was,
I think your voice was muted, so let's come back again.
am I good now? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm learning the system, yeah. So where the song came from, yeah.
Yeah. I was writing a corner, a song, a chant for the TV show, and the phrase was "thank you." And I wanted to get the rhythm of "thank you," so I imagined some timpani going "thrum bum, thank you," and that was cool. Okay, cool. And then I took my nylon string guitar. This guy, very nice little cheapo, but wonderful folk nylon string guitar, and just started experimenting with some lines, and I got that what it was on that song, and I changed it to MIDI. I programmed it in and had it on repeat, and I was trying to do "thank you," and all of a sudden, I was thinking "thank you," and thought I wasn't planning on writing a song, but I all of a sudden went back to my childhood backyard where we had a really huge willow tree.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, I said thank you to the willow tree.
Uh-huh.
And I just had it on a loop. And without even thinking about the fact that I was writing a song, I recorded the first two verses pretty much the way they were. I mean, I switched some things around, but it just went boom. I went down to the weeping willow. I said, "Thank you for being mine." And then I climbed up the weeping willow to feel homey. And it is kind of it's like you want a safe place in your life.
Yeah.
And you want to be, ever since I was a kid, I was always, I love being around people sometimes, but other times I like to climb a tree and just
Yeah.
be by myself. And then there was just that whole image of being in the willow tree that took care of me. I was so thankful for, and the whole thing is just two chords, But
Yeah.
the melody flows, and then when the wind blows, rock and roll, and then it starts becoming about dying and living forever, and but you start to not be afraid of death. I mean, I'm still afraid of death, but that's how good the
man.
willow tree makes you feel, that you grow old together. And I think from the reactions I've gotten from some people, that it does have those meanings, and those are the meanings that I unconsciously did want to express
Very
in
cool, man.
that feeling of thankfulness. Yeah. So
Awesome.
that was a groovy song.
Yeah, very cool, man. Very cool. Yeah, I mean, it's like just with the stuff we're gonna be able to play for people tonight. You are so eclectic. There's such a range that you have. It's very cool.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. Well, that was a good one. Yeah. And it's hard to, you want to write more songs, any songs, and you don't know when they're going to come. Sometimes when I get to a certain point, I will just force myself to write a song, and just for the purpose of throwing away. And sometimes that gets the ball rolling again, and then the next day you'll write a real song. But
Do you so you have throwaway songs? Do you have throwaway songs? I'm not really good at throwing away my songs. Really?
Sure.
I'm terrible at throwing away songs.
Ah,
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's just that thing. Because it's not. You don't know when it's gonna come, right?
right. No.
And when it comes, it may, it's not. You don't know which one's gonna be the best one, or whatever. But each one of them I value as something
Yeah,
special and magic.
Well, if that's so, then that's great. And when you're doing it, some of them feel special and magic when you're doing it, but then you look back on it, whether it's the next day or the next year or whatever, and you go,
Actually, the
but,
farther I get away from them, the more I like them sometimes.
oh, sure. Depending on the song, and I have, for me, it's kind of, which songs, where's my red book? Which songs make the book, whatever book I will be adding to at the time. And some of the songs I put in right away. And some songs I'm like, I don't know. And
Oh, really?
some of the, I don't know songs eventually get in, but some of them don't. So it really can depend. I'm kind of, now that I took these books off the shelf.
That's actually really cool. I mean, it's just the sort of, they look old, man. It's great.
Yeah. Well, hey, look at this.
Oh,
This is
man, take a look at my life.
Look, can you see
Wow,
the
yeah.
kanji?
Campus twin. Let's make that big.
Eriku. This is when I was 17 and 18 years old as an exchange student in Yamanashi.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And so this was the first time I ever wrote songs. Like in the beginning, I couldn't speak to anybody, and nobody understood what I was saying.
Yeah.
So it freed me up to write whatever I want. And nobody could understand, so I could be totally honest, which I already liked the guitar in American high school, but I could never be totally honest about my feelings in front of other people.
Oh, really?
In America, no way. I would be too shy. And
Wow.
but when you spend 6 months in Japan, and after those 6 months, and you're writing songs that nobody could understand, and then you meet all the other exchange students, and they hear them, they're going through the same thing as you are, and they're going, "Oh yes, Eric, thank you for singing my feelings." I've told that story before, but that really, and then I went, oh wow, total honesty. Good
Yeah.
policy. Yeah.
So it's like a Bob Dylan question. So are you a topical songwriter?
I wish I had a nice, pithy answer like Bob would, right? Um, very generally, no. I am not a topical songwriter, although this new song, Ring a Bell, is personal and I think topical at the same time. And gosh, now I'm almost feeling like I wish I gave you the half-done video.
Yeah, well, you'll play it for us, though, right?
Oh, I could play it for you.
Maybe you should.
Could I play it for before we have too much wine?
Might be a good idea.
No.
Though I mean, you're good. When you get the wine in you, you're good too, right? But
it depends on, there's always. But I've been playing. That's the one song I've been playing enough that I think I can actually play it now.
Hey, you played it last week, huh?
So the question is it a topical song? Do I write topical songs? I think in general, no. I write songs about my feelings as if I write songs instead of going to the therapist.
Yeah.
And I have a knot in my emotional muscles. And in order to massage that knot in my emotional muscles, I write a song and it gets out of me and then I can see it and it goes out of my body and I feel better and I can look at that problem or feeling objectively and it makes me feel more relaxed. And that's maybe people who write topical songs care enough about, really are empathetic about what's going on around them. And it is the same kind of feeling probably, but I am kind of selfish. I feel strong about things around me, and I've had various songs about society and problems going around, but most of them are personal, and I hope they're not self-indulgent. Yeah,
I think even people who are writing topical songs are all personal.
Yeah. Well,
if it's not, you really can't care, right?
Right. So, okay. Can I try?
Yeah, go for it, man.
Let me see.
That sounds nice.
This is a rare, personal, and topical, I think. So I'll sing it first, and then if you feel like it, we can talk about what is personal, what is topical. I've never introduced a song like that.
Interesting.
So you've been to heaven now. What's it like? How's your father been? Can you really see everything down here? And was it you I felt walking inside of me? What a world we're standing on. What a life, what an opportunity. But sometimes it's just a little too hard. It's the wind, it's the water, so strong. So strong. Everybody you love, everybody you know, everybody you see, everywhere you go. It's the wind, it's the water, so strong, so strong. Ring a bell, and it carries on. Ring a bell, Who could say how long? Ring a bell, ring a bell, ring a bell, yeah. All we can do is carry on. It's a fight, but there's love involved. We know we're right, but sometimes we're wrong. It's a fight, but there's got to be love involved. So you've been to heaven now. What's it like? How's your mama been? Can you really see everything down here? And was it you I felt walking inside of me? Walking inside of me, yeah.
Wow.
Ring a bell, baby.
That that got me, man. You hit me. You got me. You got me. You got me. You got me. I'm crying here.
I think it's a real song.
Fuck.
It's a real song, and I want to get it out there somehow. Yeah.
That's amazing, man. I mean, like the. Yeah. Fuck.
Thank you.
That's fucking amazing. I'm speechless.
So, do you have, what's your image of that song? What do you think that is? I mean, I hate it. I mean, what's the song about? You know, that one of the things about that song is more than a lot of songs that I've written in the last 2 years, or even ever. This is a song I wrote like a year and a half ago or so, but
Yeah.
people, native speakers, say they really like it, but that's one song that I get, what's that song about?
Yeah.
From
I don't know if I get the topical part of it, but it's about someone you lost, right?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the reality is it was a reaction to my father dying.
Uh-huh.
And he died in March of 2018.
Yeah.
So that was 2 years ago.
How old was he?
He was 80.
All right, okay.
Esophageal cancer. I was going back and forth. Man, if that had happened this year, I don't know. It would have been. I'm so thankful that I could see him.
Yeah.
I wasn't there the day he died, but I went back and forth a million times the last 6 months, and even before that, just for fun. But my dad. Okay. You said you don't get the topical part, but my dad, not unlike a lot of relatively liberal friends my age, our age, a lot of our dads, at least in the beginning, supported Trump. And
Your dad supported Trump.
I hate to say it.
Holy fuck.
Yeah. And his
Massachusetts, right?
What's that?
Massachusetts, right?
And you know what? He was a Massachusetts liberal. We had McGovern knee patches on our jeans.
I made a fucking McGovern for president sign out of fucking plywood and took it to a rally when I was like 10 or whatever. It was 7. I don't even fucking remember. What the fuck?
Yep. We were probably 9, right?
Are you serious?
When McGovern, I had knee patches. We were members of Common Cause, and then over the years, but it's not an uncommon thing for like 80-year-old old fathers to somehow and his wife, my second mother, although I have two moms, kind of. She's been coming around
Oh, really?
lately, and but I don't want to speak for them. But in any
Yeah.
case, I had a lot of animated conversations with my father, but they were all with love, and we never, we never really fought.
Got to be
about
love
it.
involved. Yeah.
He was a scientist, and he really just, ever since I was little, he had all the answers, and but
Fuck.
it started getting a little bit weird towards the end, and not just the end. Sometimes when people start to die, they lose their mind and think they're in California when they're in Rochester.
Yeah.
But we had lots of wonderful conversations. But the weird thing is, one of the things that made this song happen, the line, and was it you walking inside? I felt walking inside of me.
Yeah.
After he died, and I went back like a couple of weeks later, I was walking in his house, and I felt like he had taken over my body almost. I was walking like him, kind of hunched over. Maybe I was a little tired. Maybe I don't think it's magic or anything, but
No, it's not magic.
felt
It's fucking reality, man.
yeah. And his dog, Kirby, looked at me with like, he seemed to sense that it wasn't just me, it was Daddy there for a second. He was like, right? And that was such a visceral experience.
Yeah.
That's where that first verse came from. But also, and because my dad's death was a hard time,
Yeah.
universal hard times are all over the place, and especially the hurricane that happened. That was wind, and the floods, and the tsunami, and that was water, and we all go through that. Everybody, when you think about it, we all go through all this shit.
Yeah.
And that's what I liked about that whole thing about everybody. I don't say it. I mean, everybody you know, everybody you love, everybody you know, everybody you see, everywhere you go. It gradually gets larger and larger. The everybody you love is of this group. Everybody you know is that group. Everybody you see is that group. Everywhere you go is that group. It turns out everybody's feeling the same thing.
Yeah.
And that's what that was all about. And that we can make a difference. And then it goes towards the topical more, where it's like, ring a bell, and it's a fight. We got to fight for what's right, and that's why it's we do what we can. It's a fight, but there's love involved. I'm totally fighting. I'm arguing with my dad. It's like, no. But there's love involved, and we somehow got to keep that love going on both sides.
Yeah.
Certainly, there's shitty people around who don't deserve that much love. But if you can put yourself in a place of love and understanding and humility, then there is the potential for problem solving.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what I thought was what the song was about.
Yeah, that's an important lesson. I mean, in terms of like problem solving or whatever. I mean, just like communication. There has to be a mutual respect,
Right.
a mutual love, right? And if you have that, you can get over all of your differences and figure out a way to deal with it, right?
You can at least get over some of them.
Yeah. Well, I'm
Let's just ask for some of our differences.
I am an optimist.
Right.
Oh, but you have to deal with it in some way, right? You know.
So it was personal that my father died, and that was hard. But other people have gone through hard things. But it was also political in a way that I was having an argument almost with my father, asking him, can you see now what's going on here?
Yeah.
I mean,
Is he watching now? Is he seeing what's happening now?
yeah, I mean, do you dig that?
Yeah.
My father was also like just totally. He was brought up in a pretty strict Lutheran
Uh-huh. Oh, wow.
community, but a loving Lutheran community. And my parents broke away from the church, and their parents kind of weren't into that. But so we didn't get that, but we got a lot of the love part of Christianity. You know,
Yeah.
my mother, I remember her saying, we had some kind of God talk or something, and she thought, I said, well, what's going on with this whole Jesus thing? I mean, I was probably 6, so it was like I said, "What, God?" But my mother said, I still remember this, and I've told her this. She goes, well, I think God is love, and that has really sat with me all through the years,
Yeah.
and to get that message out while saying all we can is carry on. It's a fight. Let's go. But
Yeah.
there's love. There's love that's got to be part of the equation.
That's cool, man.
So that was my personal and topical song.
Nice.
Dum-dum.
A few things. My father,
Mhm.
I don't know if I told you this, my father is a Presbyterian minister. He doesn't have a parish right now.
That vaguely rings a bell.
Yeah, I'm a PK, man. Yeah. So I grew up in the church, and I think when I was about 6 years old, I decided I was an atheist. So I would be taken to church every Sunday,
Right.
and I would sit with my mom and my sisters, and they would bring communion, right? And I wouldn't take it.
When you were 6?
Something like that. Yeah. I was a fucking rebel,
Well,
man.
anywhere up to 10 or so, that's crazy.
It's just like God doesn't talk to me. Can't
Not
see
because
him.
you don't like the cookie, but because
Yeah.
you were an atheist.
It's like, well, I don't. Well, you've given me. Why should I believe in God? You know, I didn't know Bob Dylan yet. You know,
Right.
but it was not something that I could
You had nothing
experience.
to
Right?
believe in.
It was a non-experiential thing, right? It was just like you got to believe, right? Believe
Right.
what, right? So I get the bread, and I'd put it behind me, and my mom would take the bread and put it in her pocket or something, or her purse, or I wouldn't drink the grape juice and stuff, So that was that was one thing. The other thing that just cracks me up. My family's from Texas, right? So I was in Texas for a wedding, I think. Like, my cousin was getting married, and we're at a relative's house, and this big party and everything. And I said something about, I don't even remember who the president was at the time. Maybe I said something about talking about politics or Democrats or something.
Right.
And my sister takes me aside and she says, Jeff, there are 5 Democrats in Texas, and none of them are in this house. So, like, there are 5 Republicans in Massachusetts,
Right.
and one of them is in your house.
No.
He's not a
At
Republican,
that time, my father was a card-carrying, common cause Democrat all the way, man.
right? But he got into Trump. That's crazy.
But that was after he moved to Rochester, New York.
Okay. So he was no. Okay, so he's no. So there are still 5 Republicans in Massachusetts. Cool, man. Should we do another song?
Yeah, let's. What's
What are you
next?
feeling? Are we in the Ultana time, or do you want to segue into like some kids stuff?
Well, let's play one more. Let's play the old. That was the new Eric song. We've played 2 new Eric songs.
Yeah.
And the oldest one that I sent you was the one "Kind Awakening."
Kind of Awakening. Okay.
Yeah, which that recording was before we made the album at your house. But it was just before the earthquake.
Yeah.
And it was before I broke my nerves in my arm and lost the use of my arm for a year and a half.
Holy shit.
And but that was one of the peak points of our band, and I love that Julian from Jimmy Binks took this video and was entranced with Andy's playing. So some of the audio is all cymbals, but you get to see Andy in all of his glory.
Andy's
And
awesome.
this is when the song was totally new, and we were just. I love it because it might take a little time to take off, but the back and forth and playing by the seat of your pants is really all right there, and that's why I like
That's what it's all about, right?
version of the song. Yeah,
Awesome, man. Yeah, the first take is usually the best take, eh?
yeah, yeah.
Okay, so here we have Kind Awakening.
Free flow of life. Well, I've been up and down this way before. I've never seen this way before. See you found the corners. I can tell where you've been. Oh yeah. Walk into the room I find another color state of mind. Was before, this is blue. Now it's shine. Now it's shine. You smell like a girl to me. What in the world could this love be? Smell like a girl to me. What in the world could this love be? Hey, 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 hey. Been up and down this way before. Never been this way before. Around the corners, I can tell what you've been. Oh, yeah. Smell like a girl to me. What in the world could this love be? Yeah, smell like a girl to me. What in the world could this love be? Revelation, new sensation, the reason I can breathe. It brings me to my knees and weakens memories of places that I've always been. One without, one within. This must be some kind of awakening. Some kind of awakening. Some kind of awakening.
The reason I can breathe brings me to my knees, brings back memories, places that I've always been, without what within. Must be some kind of awakening. Well, I've been up and down this way before. I've never seen this way before. Just hanging around the corner, I can tell where you have been. Ah, yeah. Check it out. So like a girl to me, what in the world could this ever be? It's not like a girl to me, what in the world could this what could it be?
There you go. That's fucking cool, man.
That was a good gig.
You know what's great is I hear that, and it's like I'm remembering a song I heard on the radio years ago.
Uh-huh.
You know, well, I was there when you
right.
recorded and stuff, but it's just like, oh yeah, I know that song.
Yeah.
Very cool. Where did that song come from, man?
Well, that is a very easy one to explain because in the year 2010, in October, I had surgery in my nose to take out all of the allergy-caused polyps and
Oh,
all
shit.
the trash and gunk and old tires out of my nasal cavities, which were preventing me from breathing correctly and smelling anything. And it had built up over the previous 10 years, so much so that I hardly realized how much I could not smell anything. So without talking about that whole situation, in any case, I had surgery, and like a miracle, I could smell again. It's like,
Wow.
it's the sense of smell. You don't know. I mean, you think, oh, someone who's blind who can't see and then all of a sudden sees things and stuff like that. And you see on the video, on the YouTube, sometimes people hear things for the first time because of surgery. But for me, sense of smell came wafting back, but oh, everything. It was like a magic. I had a magic power, and my sense of smell is actually more sensitive than most people around me. So I could smell a flower shop way down the street.
Wow.
I could smell a guy who had smoked a cigarette before he turned around the corner. I could smell a coffee machine 3 floors down. It was like,
Nice.
no. So that is what the kind awakening was. And you smell like a girl to me was
Smell like a girl to me.
some
Or a fish shop.
there are some people who thought that was kind of like a walk on the wild side type of line.
Hey,
where
babe.
it would be,
Take a
oh,
walk
I
on the
thought you
wild
were a
side.
girl, but you're a guy. But no, it was, I was walking in Shibuya, and this girl walked by me, and she had a wonderful perfume on or something. And I was like, oh, I just went, oh, I hadn't felt that feeling for 10 years.
Holy shit.
And it was like, it was an awakening, and it was a kind awakening. Yeah.
Wow.
Revelation, a new sensation. Yeah. The reason I can breathe. Yeah.
Well,
And that was one of those songs also that came pretty quick. And I still remember, I probably have the cassette, but just boom, boom, boom. Probably wrote the whole thing in a half hour or so. And
Do you know that?
I think it's a good song, and that performance of it was really good. So a
That
good
was great.
song, performed well. Yeah.
And the
We were
fact that it's at like
totally in the
230
moment.
pixels, that it's like totally low resolution,
Yeah.
makes it look like it was like 10 years ago or something.
Uh-huh. Well,
Even though it was still the digital world 10 years ago.
right. Yeah.
Yeah. It was cool.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Well, that's one of the reasons. That's one of my. It's hard to capture, you know, those really good moments. I think.
Right?
The ones that at least I, as the person who is making the music, think, okay, this is all right. This is good. Yeah. So that one I really liked when we were doing it, and I really liked when Julian gave. Thank you, Julian, if you're watching.
Thank you, Julian.
Yeah, and he was right up there, and I actually, you know, when he goes on to Andy playing the drums, I was standing behind him, and I was kind of trapped behind him, but I was still playing. That was at Free Flow Ranch in Ikebukuro. That was really fun.
Good place.
Yeah, you never? Oh, you never went there.
I've seen you in Koenji.
Right.
Yeah. But not
You know, I
at
used to
Free
live
Ranch.
near Ikebukuro, and so that was kind of a home base for a while. I'd like to go back and play there when things get normal again.
Yeah, well, you can play there for 5 or 6 people, right?
Right now, right. Yeah.
I was thinking
But before,
actually.
that place was like probably that night it was pretty packed, and there was maybe 40 people or so, 40, 50 people.
That's cool. Yeah, you got some very, very, very energetic and powerful shows, huh?
When they work, baby. Yeah, and I get really excited. So
So what do you
yeah.
think? Do you think this is a philosophical question?
All right.
Cuz I know when I'm playing,
Uh-huh.
there are times when it's like, yeah. It's spot on. It's perfect.
Right.
You know, like we're nailing it, right? Do you
Right.
think that the musicians' experience and the people listening's experience is the same? Do you think that connects?
Not necessarily. I mean, no.
Yeah. Does it
But
matter?
sometimes, especially, you know, when you play a lot of gigs, not every gig is going to click like it's going to. So if you don't think it's going all that well, but one thing that I learned as a professional guy doing a performance is even if you don't think it's going well, you got that going well attitude, and
Yeah.
you just plow right through it, and
Yeah.
you're going to make 98% of the people think it's great just because you're so confident making it seem like it's good.
So it's two different things. So the people enjoying it and you enjoying it are different, right?
Now, on the other hand, if you are enjoying it, then there's more of a likelihood that the people will be enjoying it. But on the other hand, it doesn't always happen. So the moral of the story is to don't worry about it. I was going to say a dirty word between
Yeah.
don't and worry, but I'm trying to
Don't worry. Don't
not
fucking worry
take
about it.
this off the air here.
Well,
But
do you
yeah,
have?
don't fucking worry about what you're doing while you're playing the music. Just play the music.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Do you? Because I don't have it as much now, but I used to have a lot of internal dialogue. Like you're playing a
Yeah,
song,
that's- exactly.
you're like in the second verse, and there's like 3 more verses, and you're like, oh, are people liking this? I don't know if they're liking it or not. What should I do? You know? And that kind of sucks, right?
That kind of sucks, is right.
Yeah.
And there's a very delicate line. If you got to make the choice, you don't worry about it. But on the other hand, depending on the artist, I myself like to have people happy with what's going on.
Yeah.
And so, if I sense a vibe that maybe this song won't go over, even though I was really hoping to play it,
Mm-hmm.
I'll choose another song and hopefully it'll go well. But ideally, usually it's best when you just don't care at all.
Yeah.
And then you just
Exactly.
play, and people are like, "Ha!" Yeah.
Yeah. That's, I mean, probably for the past 10 years or so, it's just been, when I sing, I just get into it, and I don't have the other voice,
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely something you think about, Yeah.
That's one reason I don't always like to. I'm not a big. I'm so bad at PR. Something you're better at, but inviting people. When I invite people to an event, I feel responsible for their happiness, and so
Yeah,
if
me too.
I do all the PR myself.
Mm-hmm.
And all these people are here, and then I'm like saying, "Oh, well, if this sucks, then that sucks." But if
Yeah.
I designate it to someone who's enthusiastic and good, I can kind of forget about it and say, "Well, fuck them," and I can do what I want to,
Yeah.
and it usually would turn out to be a better show. I'm trying to deal with that emotional contradiction in my brain.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So, but dude, I mean, just you generally rock,
Oh, thank you so much. Um, It's nice to have people like you there who say, "Dude, you generally rock," and then I get really psyched.
right? No, but it's true. I mean,
We get
because your
some fun
shows,
gigs in
your
ABC.
your shows you're so hot, you are so into it. I mean, it's not clear whether you're there or not because you're so into it.
Yeah. Well, I might not be.
You're channeling some shit.
Yeah, I'm somewhere else sometimes. Yeah. Yeah, man. I mean, you're getting me psyched to do more gigs.
You should, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it's all about,
Yeah.
right?
What do you think? I want to sing a song.
Oy,
Shall we
okay.
try to sing a song together and see if this works over the internet?
You can try. We can try.
Yeah, you're gonna have to turn the volume down on your speakers though.
Okay.
Okay,
Right.
well, let me explain this to everybody. So we are connected over Zoom, and the internet is not, it's not real time, right? There's delay. It takes time for my voice to get to Eric and Eric's voice to get to me, right? But we did a little test today, and we found out, because I'm actually streaming Eric's Zoom feed and my feed from this computer. So if I listen to Eric and I sing with Eric, we're in time. But if Eric listens to me singing with him, it's delayed, right? So it'll mess him up, right? But it looks like it's possible that we can do a little duet here, huh? What do you think? Are you up for it, Eric?
Okay. I just I put your voice way down low so
Cool.
that it probably won't be a problem.
Yeah, it's like the echo, 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 echo.
Right.
Yeah. But this
So
is
what do you want to do? I have I think I can remember the words to "You Ain't Going Nowhere."
I think that's it, man. Yeah. Bounce so
we-
swift
we-
and it ain't
we-
falling.
Both Jeffrey and I really like Bob
Yeah, we do.
Dylan,
We
right? And I don't know. I was brought up on Bob. My Massachusetts liberal father used to listen to Bob Dylan's Greatest Hits, Volume 2, while in the basement drinking Ballantine Ale, making
Nice.
wonderful furniture. And my job was turning over the record,
Oh, really cool.
Volume 2, upstairs.
How old were you?
He had hooked up the speakers, to go all over the house way back in the day, in the early 70s.
My first my first introduction to Bob Dylan was in Vermont.
Uh-huh.
And like one of the neighbors, she was probably high school girl.
Uh-huh.
I think I was 7 or 8, same kind of thing, right? And she sang, "Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door," right? And it was like, by the campfire one night where it was like, wow, right? That was my first introduction to Bob Dylan, and it was like, okay, I need to learn how to play the guitar, kind of thing, right?
Right.
And then, but Bob Dylan's greatest hits, I didn't touch on until high school, actually, early high school. Yeah.
Wow. So, what was that? Your whole introduction to guitar and that kind of music itself?
First guitar thing was the Beatles. Get by with a little help from my friends, right?
Right.
Well, we had a guitar in the house, and my dad played, and there was a piano too.
Okay.
So it was, things here and there. And my guitar pick was a rolled up the paper from the matchbook.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that was the pick I used, right? Yeah. And I was probably 10, 11 or something. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Cool, man. We're gonna do this?
My father had a Gretsch guitar that he played when he was a kid, and it was always in the house. So I started playing. He taught me 3 chords, and that's
all you need, man.
Right, and all you need is C, F, and G7. But my hands were so little, and the guitar was so big at that time that for me, he told me just to play the top 3 strings. C was this, and F was this, and G7 was this.
There you go.
So, the first song he had a really old music book in his guitar case, and it had "There is a tavern in the town." There is a tavern in the town, and there my true love let me down with drink your wine with no, and then so you can play it all with one finger, right? Yeah. And then the first song I ever wrote was this. Hi, thank you very much.
Woo!
So I thank my Massachusetts liberal father for teaching me how to play the guitar.
Nice.
So, okay. You ain't going nowhere.
You ain't going nowhere. I probably need to move back a bit.
Are we going to try to play? Are we going to try to play?
Yeah. Should I play?
I'll
just
turn
sing.
my output volume down, man.
Okay. Yeah, so bring my voice down. Because it'll mess you up.
All right. You don't look like you're about to pick up the guitar, but I'm going to turn it down right now. I'm going to sing my verses that I know. I know your verses.
G, A minor, C, right?
To let you know, I can't hear you anymore. Okay. You Ain't Going Nowhere by Bob Dylan. Copyright 1967, 1972, renewed 1995. Dwarf Music, all rights reserved, international copyright secured.
Yes.
Yeah. Just because Jeffrey asked me, to play some Dylan songs, and I realized I forgot all the words. So.
Right? Habeas corpus, man.
Yeah. I can't hear you. Clouds so swift and rain won't lift. Gates won't close and railing froze. Get your mind off wintertime. You ain't going nowhere. Ooh-wee, right behind. Tomorrow's the day that my brides are gonna come. Ooh-wee, are we gonna fly down into the easy chair? I don't they sent. Morning came and
morning went.
Pick up your money and pack up your tent. You ain't going nowhere. Ooh, riding me high.
Tomorrow's the day that my brides are gonna come. Ooh, we gonna fly
Down to the easy chair, yeah. Oh yeah. Buy me a flute and a gun that shoots, tailboats and substitutes. Strap yourself to a tree with roots. You ain't going nowhere. Hey, ooh, ride me high.
Tomorrow's the day that my brides are gonna come. Ooh, we gonna fly
down into the easy chair. Genghis Khan and his brother gone. They
could not keep on keeping on. Climb that bridge after it's gone.
After when they pass it, yeah.
Ooh, ride on me
high. Tomorrow's the day that my brides are gonna come. Ooh,
we gonna fly
down into the easy chair. Down into the easy chair. Down into the easy chair. Yeah, man. There it goes.
That was fucking awesome, man.
All right.
You know what I just realized?
No, I do not.
What I miss more than anything else is playing music with people.
Yeah, man.
Right?
Yeah, man.
That was so cool. That was so totally cool. Maybe we can do another one later after we drink some more.
Yeah, maybe.
If you can remember the chords.
I might upset my neighbors.
Ah.
Well, I have a fairly soundproof house. So
that's good.
When we rented it, it said piano okay. So
cool.
There is, yeah. And I've got all my unsold CDs on the windowsill of the place that is next to the next apartment.
Oh, there. So you've got lots of buffer.
Yeah, yeah.
So you want to? So where should we go from here, man? Let's talk a little bit about your Ego de Asobo, your sort of kids thing, right? We've been in the adult political thing for a while. We did some Bob Dylan.
Well, thank you. I really enjoyed talking about the adult political thing. It was nice to express, to get out at least a little bit how I feel about what's going on. I mean, I didn't fire anybody up, but at least people know what side of the bridge I'm on, or wall, or it shouldn't be a wall or a bridge, but yeah, we got to make good things happen.
Right. So how I mean, like, to expostulate on that, how are you feeling now? I mean, that we are in an unprecedented time in the fucking world, right? And it seems to me that most people want to ignore that. That there are certain very clear things that we need to do, but we're not doing them. Not we. I'm doing them, and I assume you are.
I don't know. I don't know if I'm doing anything. I mean, I feel I'm making donations to the NAACP.
But you're staying home and you're not breathing on people, right?
And but I still feel pretty helpless.
Yeah.
But and I don't think that most people aren't doing anything. I think that now there is a sea change of opinion, and it's something that hopefully we can all take advantage of to just, I mean, we're in Japan, and what I'm talking about right now is the American situation.
Yeah.
and but it is also a worldwide situation. Racism and discrimination and all that stuff is real, you know.
Yeah.
And the reality of it has to be acknowledged first. And I think finally it's being acknowledged, at least I hope. So
Yeah. Yeah, there's that hope, right?
but with as far as, and then you want to give that message of love and positivity to children also,
Yeah.
to segue into what you were saying before as far as kids music. I want to make a you know, for me, when I was a kid, I loved kids music, good kids music, and some of it was you know, secretly political. Monkeys, Last Train to Clarksville, going off to war, love, baby,
Right?
and not, I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Were you a
So
monkey then?
so how did you get into kids music? I mean you were I don't know your musical story, man.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'm like you were. I'm assuming you were playing. You know, you got the guitar. You learned some stuff from your dad. You were playing stuff. Came to Japan. Learned a little Japanese.
Well, wait, back up. Up to playing stuff, yeah, but in Western Massachusetts, where I grew up, there was Arlo Guthrie lived there.
Yeah, Arlo Guthrie.
Yeah. And
You
Arlo
can get
would
anything
play,
you
you know, at the local elementary school playground, or down in Pittsfield at the baseball, the little league baseball field, and actually Arlo Guthrie was the first time I heard "I've Just Seen Your Face, I Can't Forget the Time or Place Where We Just Met," the Beatles song. I thought it was an old like a folky country song.
Yeah,
It-
it was
yeah.
the Beatles.
I like his Arlo's version better. I mean, that's the first one I heard. But so I was immersed in Arlo, and of course Arlo was Bob's. They really got it together when they were little, and Bob taught them harmonica and all that stuff. So I didn't know Arlo or Bob, although I have visited Arlo's church. But
So you went to Alice's restaurant.
the restaurant is different, but the church that
For the church, the
was
restaurant was
involved
in the church,
story,
right?
Yeah, yeah. And I actually played an open mic there. Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah, around.
I'm not
10 years
worthy.
ago. Yeah.
I'm not worthy.
I didn't meet Arlo was out on tour at the time, and he was going to be at the next month's show, but I missed him by a month.
Music sign.
So, but I actually played at the church, and in Stockbridge, Massachusetts.
That's
But
very cool,
anyway,
man.
so I was into. I thought, since my father always listened to music while he was building things downstairs, I thought that music was everything, basically. There was music in the house all the time, and I played the guitar. But I was just, I learned from. And then we had a Beatles book, and I learned a day in the life and looked at the chord things, and but then finally, when I was a junior in high school, a guy taught me how to play like Blackbird and basic finger picking. His finger picking was dun, 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 dun. Ain't no use to sit and wonder why, babe. And so I would do that on the desk during math class and everything. And I thought, oh, once I can finger pick, I'll know how to play the guitar. And then all of a sudden, halfway through my senior year, I went to Japan as an exchange student in order to avoid applying for college. And but I had gotten into the guitar enough to bring my guitar, which was my father's old Gretsch. It was like a 1949 old Gretsch. Nothing, it was very solid body. I mean, it was a hollow, it was an acoustic guitar.
Oh, Gretsch is sexy, man. Gretsch is like
Yeah.
the Marilyn Monroe of
My
guitars, man.
sister has it. It's in bad repair right now, but my sister still has it. So, but anyway, so that's when, and we talked a little bit about not being able to talk to people and finally having the courage to write songs. So, and then me and my buddy Sawanobori Hidenobu, who is originally from Yamanashi,
Sawanobori, ne?
he plays gigs around here, and you might have met him around, but we would sing Bob songs and Simon and Garfunkel songs and each other's songs before we could really even talk to each other, and it just made us dream like wackos, and then somehow we got on Yamanashi NHK FM at the end of the year, doing an hour interview and music show.
No shit.
Yeah.
And you were like
And we did
17
a
or something?
concert at Yamanashi Shimin Kaikan. So we had big dreams. But
How
I
old were you
still-
then? You were like 17?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, so you know Sawanobori from when you were 17?
yeah, baby. Yeah,
Oh shit. Oh, crazy.
yeah, crazy. Yeah.
Crazy.
We had a great gig. It was one of our last gigs before the shutdown. Was it in January? It might have been January out in Hachioji. And our band playing, me and Tani-chan and Andy. It was really good. There's this place called Papabito. It's got a really nice stage. If we could get people to come, it'd be great. And then we went on stage with him. We were kind of his Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers for Bob Dylan. And,
Which is
and
not a
played-
bad thing to be, right?
Yeah, no, it was fine. It was great. So hopefully we can do that again. Anyway, I went back and instead of studying meteorology in college, like the original plan was, I majored in Japanese language and literature. But the University of Colorado program was not all that demanding. So I had plenty of time to be part of the underground coffee house scene
Okay.
and poetry scene, and which was really big in Boulder, and just really, really got into creativity. And then when at the end of my sophomore year, I was just talking to an old college buddy, the girl who got COVID, but she's better, and we talked. But anyway, she reminded me that we both knew calculus at the time, and I was still thinking, I needed a plan B, and so I took calculus for engineers, and I remember in my last test, I was like, oh, this is enough, and I looked at the pictures, and there was multiple choice, and I said, well, this looks like it should be this. I happened to get a good grade, but I didn't do any of the work. I mean, it was like
Really?
looking at the pictures. So and I went home, and I before I knew I got a good grade, I went home, I stormed out of the class before everybody, and I sat at my desk, and I wrote a song. It's a very kind of stormy, kusai type of song. I think it's time to run away. And that's kind of when I decided I'm not going to fight this kind of creative urge anymore. I really want to do this. And part of it was because Sawanobori was doing bands and stuff. He wasn't going to college. He was doing shit. And I was doing shit that I wasn't really into. And so then I just got more and more into just writing songs and being creative. And then after college, came here and played on the street for 3.5 years and played with a Japanese hippy dippy band and a gaijin band. And towards the end, started meeting some people who were interested in like making business out of it. But I was always afraid of making business, although I wanted to make business. Like my mother said, she always said I was afraid of success. So it took a while.
That is a total thing. Being afraid of
I
success.
guess it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Total
I
thing.
think to a certain extent, it still applies.
Yeah. Yeah, cause I what's the word? Iiwake.
had an excuse.
Yeah. My excuse is I don't want to make music my business because music is my life.
Right.
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 So, and that limits me in terms
Mm-hmm.
of being able to sell or promote my music, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know. But in some ways, it keeps me free. But it's
Mm-hmm.
definitely a limiting factor, you know.
Right.
It's definitely like that fear of success, and and then the definitions of success is a completely different thing.
Right.
But in terms of having tons and tons of people love your music and listen to you, and having to deal with that, you know, and having to come out with the next album and everything, and all that pressure and everything.
Mm.
I don't know. I guess it would be a good thing, but
Well,
yeah, it's a weird balance.
well, yeah, and I for a while was hanging on to the concept. I don't know if I've talked with you before about this, and maybe some other people have heard about this, but I was hanging on to the concept of freedom so hard that it kind of, I mean, just to be ready for the big break, that it kind of prevented me from doing anything interesting.
Yeah.
And so I was doing all these little things. And then when I had already been, because I was into recording and things like that. So I eventually met people who were making like English education videos, and they wanted music, English speaking music, and someone who could understand what they wanted. So I became part of their group. And there's a long story behind that, but anyway, that's what it was.
Yeah.
And so I started making stuff for like CD-ROMs and
Yeah.
old videos, and I would also, advise them on the English scripts and stuff. And
Yeah.
I had my niche as a musician, and through that world, I got auditioned to be a voice actor for the TV show. And the funny thing is, once I got the okay, they said, okay, you got the part. I hesitated like a total jerk. Why? Because I would lose my freedom. Every other Thursday, I had to be in Shibuya
Right.
for 4 hours recording the script. What would happen if I got my big break? Oh, geez, Louise, give me a break. I'm saying that to me now, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you did it.
And but I got over that because it actually paid some money, which I didn't have
Right.
very much of.
We need to eat. Yeah.
I mean, I did by that time have jobs writing for those educational videos and stuff like that. So that was great. But a regular job for at least 2 years was wonderful, and that won me over. And by that time, I had already had one kid, so it was like, ugh.
And then that's all she wrote, right?
That's all she wrote. Yeah.
Shall we play one of your videos? I've got ABC here. I've got Fat Cat. I've got Wash Your Hands. What are you thinking? Fat Cat, maybe?
Well, Fat Cat's. I like Fat Cat. Fat Cat was a song I wrote for a guy. I was just about to make my second kid CD, and then this guy calls me up and said, let's make a CD about driving songs. So most of the songs, he wanted to sell all the songs to Honda or something. And but we didn't have quite enough car songs, and so I wrote one more song, and I stretched it out for the CD. But after it turned out to be a really fun song, and it's all mine now. I got all the rights back, but I decided to write. Oh, I remember now. Last year in Kichijoji, I have these great friends in an artist mangaka group called Kichireko. And for that, I used that song and I drew these pictures. I drew the fat cat.
Oh,
is
nice.
the
Uh-huh.
fat cat, and the actual rat saying "scat, cat," and it was, it was originally for a kid's song, but then I sang it at a these Kichireko events are the adults are kids and the kids are adults. It's all so I did that, and I just wanted to give it a try. So I drew all these pictures,
Yeah.
and then I had the pictures. So this year, after the work dried up, that was my first project to make Fat Cat. So
Oh,
I
really?
used those pictures, I scanned them, and then I got new software to make it so that I could, make them into PNGs, you call them? The ones that you can get the edges off and move them around nicely. So I've been experimenting with trying to be able to move things around better. And it turns out that this video, now through old friends in America who are elementary school teachers, they're using it in their classes, and it's really
Oh,
kind
no
of fun.
shit. Oh, that's way cool.
Yeah, so
That's
yeah,
awesome.
take a look. Yeah.
Okay, we're ready. So this is Fat Cat.
With the bat said scat, cat. Frog, log, bog, hog, dog, jug. There was a frog on a log in a bog. There was a frog on a log in a bog. There was a frog on a log in a bog. And then a hog and a dog said, jog, frog. Bug, jug, rug, slug, mug, hug. There was a bug with a jug on a rug. There was a bug with a jug on a rug. There was a bug with a jug on a rug. And then a slug with a mug said, give me a hug, bug. A fat cat sat on a mat. A fat cat sat on a mat. A fat cat sat on a mat. And then a rat with a bat said, scat, cat.
Yeah, baby.
Thank you, baby.
Cool shit, man.
I like that song a lot. Yeah.
It's good, man. I mean, I don't know. I mean, are you a better kids songwriter or are you a better adult songwriter? Is that a question I
Jeez.
should ask?
Geez Louise. As far as it depends on how you measure.
Yeah,
that.
right?
I think
Because you
that's-
make money off of the kids stuff, but you don't make money off of the adult stuff, right?
right. But
Yeah.
on the other hand, I don't want to say it's just money because I
It's not
think
money.
that's a great song, and I think I've written my 2 kids CDs. Let me advertise those right now. while
Okay, here we
we're
go. Come on down.
No, and that's the thing. That's the thing, right? Is that what kids, adults? I mean, 本当は区別はできないんだけど、right? This is
There you go. Eric,
One of
the Jam Band, yeah.
American the Gem Band, and then there's Eric's Dance Pants, and of course there is And of course, there is Kind of Waking.
Oh yes, yeah. Recorded at Studio J.
I also have other, kids CDs, but they're not made by my company. But still, they're good. You don't want to see a rare one? Not rare, but this. I was so psyched. This was when my corner got really popular. They decided to take the little 30-second songs that I would make and ask me to make a 28 song CD. And all of a sudden I recorded longer versions of maybe a minute each or something. At my house.
What do you like to do?
Well, there's 3 versions of What Do You Like to Do.
Really?
That was such a big hit. Yeah,
That was massive, man.
that was massive.
There you go.
But,
Oh yeah.
But you know what? There's a I don't know if I ever will be able to retrieve it, but there's on this CD there's a thing for old computers to play this one of the early songs I did at the Eric Corner, and I went to Kawasaki along the river, and there was a train, and there were some cars crossing the bridge, and there was flowers growing on the riverbank, and it was a beautiful sunny day. And I was with these kids, 3 kids, and we had a good time playing and saying train and car, flowers, sunshine. And I made the song up with the kids right away. And it was just, gosh, I wonder if I don't know if I, train, car, flowers, sunshine. Oh yeah, very simple. It was just train, car, flowers, sunshine. Train, car, flowers, sunshine. Yeah. Train, and we just went on like that, and the kids had the greatest time. And then it just so happened that some other people came by and they joined us, and it was such a easy, happy song that just train, car, flowers, sunshine, sung so happily, was a great song.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh man, that's a good song, And
Yeah.
I wasn't thinking about money at all. We were just hanging out, making a song that I knew. That's also from what we were talking to about before, thinking about your audience.
Yeah.
I got to think they're little kids from Japan.
Yeah.
Who don't know very many words, but they know now since we played together for 15 minutes,
Yeah.
or half an hour.
Those
Train,
few words, yeah.
car, flowers, sunshine. We were having a good time. And it seemed like we were saying life is good. And then everybody sensed that, and they came and they sang with us. I really want to be able to dig that out. That's on this CD, but it's like a embedded CD-ROM file or something.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so if you have any computer genius people who can take that out.
Pull it out of there. Train, car, flowers, sunshine.
Yeah.
That's what life's all about,
I
man.
know the words. I want the file. Yes.
Cool. So let's do another one of your kids' things. I think we do the ABC. So Eric does these live shows, right? For hundreds of kids, right?
Ooh.
And they go crazy and they rip your shirt off and everything. It's pretty intense, right?
No, I try to keep the shirt ripping to a minimum.
Yeah, it's probably a good thing. Well, NHK's there, so they protect you, right?
Well, actually, no, because I think the next thing you're going to play is one of my independent shows,
Mm.
which I've been doing even before I stopped being on the show 2 years ago.
Ah,
They've been very nice about letting me do my own shows when I don't have NHK stuff going on.
that's
And
cool.
I've done that for the last 15, maybe now 20 years. Well, 15 years ago is when things started
Mm-hmm.
going up. And then from about 10 years ago, especially while I was still on TV, I was just working all the time.
Yeah.
When we could have a show, we did have a show, whether it was an NHK or just an independent thing, because everybody wants you to, you know, do events.
Yeah.
And I don't, we're our own agent, our company. And
Mm-hmm.
so we have little lower overhead. And so we give people a good deal, although it's still for your typical gaijin act, it's more expensive than usual because I'm on TV. But
Yeah.
but it's been a good deal for everyone around. I get a lot of work. I do it for cheaper than the
Yeah.
Okasan people do and stuff. Oh, I shouldn't talk about this. No, we'll cut this part out if you want to keep it on
I
the
didn't see
air.
it.
But,
Yeah.
anyway, it's a good deal for everyone, and um, I used to work all the time, and the TV show was good with that, and I sing mostly my own original songs. And
Mm-hmm.
then the last 2 years I was on the TV show, they knew those songs were good, so they used some of those my own songs on the what we called the Friday Live
Mm-hmm.
thing. So we had a bunch of songs that were on these two albums,
Mm-hmm.
on NHK even. So that was really fun.
That's cool.
And that I know. Did you came out to one of the Ibaraki mall gigs that I did, right? Maybe not.
Ah, no. Well, I
Or maybe I
introduced
came and said hi to you, and then
I made the connection for you,
okay,
and
okay.
then I don't know. I can't. I maybe I came at
Oh,
the
that was
end.
the big parking lot gig, right? Yeah,
Yeah, at the ES at the big mall there, right? Yeah,
yeah,
and I
yeah,
think I came at the end
yeah.
or something. Yeah, it was like I met you afterwards. I think.
Oh, but it's been great because you know I love uh, one thing I kind of always loved was from when I was a kid going to see, like I said, Arlo Guthrie lived in our neighborhood. Pete Seeger was around where we were. We would go see folk music outdoors. The parents would drink beer, the kids would run around, and Pete Seeger would sing these songs. It wasn't for kids, it wasn't for adults. It was like, let's all sing together.
Yeah.
And so I had a dream. Right when I got on TV, I got interviewed by a bunch of magazines. And they said, what is your dream? And I said, well, I'd love to do like outdoor family oriented gigs. And it turned out that I started doing a million of them,
Yeah.
whether it was at campsites or zoos or malls or housing exhibition sites.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
And they're
Yeah.
fun.
They're fun. They pay well. Everybody has a good time. And those are the ones that have totally disappeared this year. You know,
What can you do?
what can you do? But
Corona
hey,
days.
on the other hand, I probably need a little kick in the ass about what I'm going to do next and how to keep things fresh. But the Fat Cat song was, in a way to keep things fresh because I kind of wanted to make something new.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of made myself make a new song and had fun with it. And then later on drew those pictures. And then later after that said, well, why don't I use these pictures and scan them and learn how to move the pictures around? So in a way, it was kind of a assignment to myself. You know.
Yeah.
I also had to re-record it because the actual recording rights for the Gembanken, for the recording,
Oh yeah,
not mine. So I totally re-recorded the song.
cool. It's great, man. I learned Japanese 70%, 80% music, 20% drinking izakayas.
Right.
Right. I mean, that was that. I was in Taiwan studying Chinese and singing Chinese songs and stuff, and I realized that if you sing songs, you can remember shit. You can, your language skills go up.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Like everything you need is in a song, right?
Yep.
And you know, every song is different or whatever, but the value of having cool English songs for kids to learn English is out of this world, man.
Yeah.
It's magic. And maybe that's your thing, you know, like if we have to stay locked up for 20 years or whatever, make the cool songs, do the videos and stuff and sell to people, right?
Oh, I was so happy.
Yeah.
I've gotten some videos of the little kids singing my songs back to them, and
That's great, man.
that really makes me happy. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very cool. Yeah. Because
Well, why
if you
don't
get
play a little clip of it's good. I like that live show clip, and you can play it up to what the beginning of Roly Poly or something. That should be about maybe 5
that's pretty long.
minutes.
It's like 7 hours or something, right?
The whole the show itself was 35 minutes, but I think this was taken by a fan, and I love her editing. And she just put it up, and that's great. But I think the thing is 10, but you can show like maybe 3 or 4 minutes of it or something.
Okay.
Now I know my ABCs. Next time, won't you sing with me? Thank you. Good job. もうちょっとギターの回数ください。じゃあね。Yeah, go go go. Hey. Hello hello hey. La 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 la. Cha 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 cha. La 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 la. Dance and sing and play. 今から上に行ったり下に行ったりします。僕がアップアップアップって歌うから、その後みんな上に行きながらアップアップアップを歌ってくださいね。僕の後だよ。上に行く準備してください。いきますよ。アップアップアップはい。Yeah down down. Up up up. Down down. Boop 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 boop. No 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 no. Go, 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 hey! Hello, hello, hey! La, 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 la! Cha, 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 cha! La, 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 la! Dance and sing and play! Thank you! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10! Great! じゃあね、今から1, 2, 3, 4, 5っていう歌を歌うんだけど、途中で今みたいに1から10まで数えます。全部できなくてもいいんだけど、9, 10を必ず言ってくださいね。Let's sing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here we go. もうちょっとください。Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once I caught a fish alive. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then I let it go again. Why did you let it go? Because it's been humping your soul. Which thing did it like? This little finger.
Yeah. All right. We're back.
Oh, we're back. Okay.
Did we want? Should I play more?
No, that's okay. But if you want to count to 10, you can find that.
1.
Yeah.
That's fucking great, man. Did you like practice that and script it and do it, or are you just like
Well, by
ad
this
lib when
time,
you're there?
this show was pretty solid. You know, I've listened to. I don't know if you listen to Mark Maron, the podcast. He's a comedian, and he talks about comedy gigs and timing, and his jokes and his talking and stuff. And I somehow really relate to a comedian's state of mind with my in between song banter.
Yeah.
And you get a new song, you get a new topic, and then you start talking and you hang on to the good parts and you refine what you say, and you know what's going to be a good joke. But
Yeah.
you don't want it to be so automatic that you're not thinking about it.
Yeah.
So it's a fun thing. And this gig, if you look up Eric NHK Anderson Park, then you can find
Anderson
this on
Park.
YouTube. But
Eric
it's,
NHK Anderson Park. Yeah.
yeah, big outdoor place, really funny. But that, I think, is a great example of a really fun feeling, family-oriented gig where I knew what I was doing and I knew the rhythms of my banter, but it was still fresh in my mind. I was doing it freshly, and it
Yeah.
wasn't like rote or anything. It wasn't, because if you're doing shows all the time and you're doing kind of, you know what is going to go over well.
Yeah.
But in my mind, it was good, and in the audience's mind, it was good. It all came together that day. I mean, you always want to make it a good show, but some
days are better than others, right?
And that was a great day in a great venue with great weather. And this fan that took a vid did a good job editing.
Yeah, and the kids were fucking crazy, right? They were all
Yeah.
over it.
Towards the end of it, you can see me jump in the audience at if you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. And it's just a beautiful day and lots of happy people.
Should we go to that clip there? Or?
If you can find it.
It's towards the end of the video?
Towards the end, yeah.
We might need to do a little bit of jumping around, but
Yeah.
Shall we try it?
Okay. Yeah.
yeah, in the interests of, yeah.
Oh yeah. Beautiful day. That's right. Stomp, clap. Take it now. Stomp, clap. Yeah. All right.次は hooray だよ。めちゃくちゃ大きな声で hooray って言ってみよう。いい？ If you're happy and you know it, shout hooray. Hooray! If you're happy and you know it, shout hooray. If you're happy and you know it and you really want to show it. If you're happy and you know it, shout hooray. Hooray! If you're happy and you know it, 2 or 3. Hooray! If you're happy and you know it, 2 or 3. Hooray! If you're happy and you know it and you really want to show it. If you're happy and you know it, 2 or 3. Hooray! Oh yeah! Yeah! Woo! Good job!
Wow.
And all those. I mean, of course, "Happy and You Know It" is not my song, but I arranged it. That version was for a very early NHK related educational package. But I own the rights to it, and so I can use it all I want. And
You know, I mean, your music is great, but the person who shot that video,
Yeah. Right?
I want to hire her. How did that, like,
Okay.
you're running, it's like,
Uh-huh.
that was fucking perfect, man.
Right? Well, that's
was fucking
I'm so
perfect.
glad that you saw that, because I think isn't that it really gives the whole雰囲気of the
It was fucking beautiful.
yeah. Yeah.
Did you give her some money or kiss her at least, or?
I don't know if I've ever met her. I've probably met her, but I don't know who is the fan who's taking that. But
Are you
I say
serious?
thank you very much if you're watching now. Yeah.
Wow. Oh, that was amazing, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. No, that's really. Oh, it was really cool.
There we go. I see the tracking now. Boom.
I was coming around on the
On the YouTube. Yeah.
coming around the YouTube when it comes around on the guitar, right? Like Alice's Restaurant, right?
Yeah.
Comes around on the guitar. You can get anything you want at Alice's
But
Restaurant.
even at the beginning of that, I like you can see me interacting with the sound guys also, because I'm going mochotto, and you can hear me asking for more monitor and everything, and we were all very comfortable with each other, and it was just a great time overall. Perfect weather, perfect audience.
Yeah.
I mean, that is what I love to do, you know.
Yeah.
And that's they weren't all quite that great, but I've had a lot of really fun gigs all over the country with people there's a lot of fun people, and then that just came tumbling down. So
No.
we'll see if it starts up again or not.
It will.
Kind of-
It's going to start up in a different form, right? You know.
Most likely, yeah. And
Yeah.
you know, I'm a relatively private person, and I don't even get out that much here in Tokyo. And I want to see more of my, Tokyo friends and acquaintances, but I just don't get out. But when I was going on, trips every weekend, riding the Shinkansen and having people to people interaction, it really satisfied my interactive desires.
Yeah.
But now there's less and less in that, except when we do something like this, because I have noticed that talking to people on Zoom is much, much better than nothing. Yeah. It might
Big
not
time.
be exactly like seeing someone.
Big time,
but
right?
hey,
Yeah.
man, it's so nice to talk to you. I must say that.
Yeah, totally, man. Totally. Yeah. I mean, talking to people on Zoom and playing music are my saving graces.
Yeah.
And
Man, oh,
and
man.
hot water and cold water. Right after each other.
Just having hot water and cold water? in
No,
your
like
house?
being in a hot bath and then taking a cold shower.
Oh,
Going back into the hot bath and taking a cold shower.
do you do that daily?
Yeah. I have
Really?
to. I have to.
Really? Wow.
Oh yeah, it's just like,
I don't have to do that.
you're a lucky man, man. No, but yeah, I mean we need human interaction,
Absolutely.
and we need music. I mean music. I mean,
Well, yeah, and that's
I
the
must
thing,
admit, the best time I feel is when I'm singing a song, man.
Yeah, man.
You know.
But sometimes, that's the thing, is that up until like a week ago, I wasn't even feeling like singing a song. For a 2 or 3 week space there, I was like, what's going on? And I was just in limbo, I think. But I wanted to get my ass in gear,
Yeah.
something, yeah.
It's I mean, like 3/11, 9/11, very clear risk, right? I mean, 9/11 was very clear, right?
Right.
But still a fucking shock, right? 3/11, not as clear, but still a shock. And generally everybody knew, we were like, okay, what are we gonna do? We're gonna deal with this, right? This one is this nebulous. It's a nebulous mind fuck, right?
Yeah.
Oh, we don't know. Wear a mask. Don't wear a mask. Do this. Don't do this.
Yeah.
Everything's free. Blah 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 blah. I mean, it's starting to come together about what we should do, but nobody gives a fuck because they've been hanging around for 3 months.
But don't say nobody gives a fuck.
No. Well, no. It's like, okay,
Lots of people give a fuck.
That was no. Everybody gives a fuck. Everybody gives a fuck, but
A lot of people do. Some people don't.
Everybody gives a fuck, but people are acting on 3 months of misinformation and a continued inappropriate presentation of information. So, when we should be going out, spending money and doing things in a responsible manner, we're not. We think that because the restrictions have been lifted, we can go out and live our lives as normal, even though we've been told for 3 months they need to wear masks, you need to stay distance from people, and now people are back into the whole thing, right? So for me, the hardest thing about this disaster, this is like the third, there's been lots, but for me, the big 3 disasters are 9/11, 3/11, and coronavirus, right?
Mm-hmm.
And coronavirus, you don't know if it's a disaster or not, because it came on slow, and then it came on in the background, and then it was obfuscated, right? And everybody's kind of freaked out or not freaked out, and you can't meet with people, so you can't talk to them. So there's no sense of community about, right? And then here we are, what do we do? And then they say, okay, it's all okay, we're in phase 3. Everyone in the fucking world is shopping right around me. The mall is filled.
Have you been there?
And like 2 or 3 weeks ago. Well, it's interesting. During the lockdown, the park in front of my house was filled with people. Wearing masks, some not, right? Filled with people. And then they opened it up, and it's been quiet. Nobody comes to my park anymore. Right? And now everyone is out shopping. We've gone to phase 3 in Tokyo.
Right.
Everyone is out. I mean, it's like the day before New Year's, man.
Phase 2.
What's that?
I thought we were still phase 2.
I think it's phase. Well, I don't know.
Well, I think we should look that up before we start tossing around phases.
Okay, if it wasn't phase 3, then people have gone wild on phase 2.
Okay.
Because where I am, it's a fucking nightmare.
Okay.
If you care about being close to people, right?
Right.
If you don't care about it seems like the only thing on people's minds is I have to go to the mall.
Oh.
Right? So there's traffic all over the place. And the mall, like the parking lot in the mall, we didn't go in, right? We just drove around to see what's happening, right?
Right.
And there are people everywhere. And there's like, okay, I gotta go to the mall. You know, I gotta buy something. It's like the new culture, right? There's no more kabuki or whatever. So it's like, okay, gotta go shopping. And people don't really buy anything, right? They just like, they want to be there, you know? I think there's this desire to be around people.
I think you should stay away from the mall.
I do. Yeah. We just went there to see what was happening.
Stay away from the mall.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm doing good, man.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I got a big freezer
No.
and lots of awamori, so. Sorry about a little digression there, but
No, good. No, it's good to get that out of your system.
Oh no, but it's because I think that we can deal with this. We can live through the coronavirus and keep things financially solvent. But in order to do that, we need to be responsible about our actions. We need to stay away from each other. We need to avoid being in clusters of people inside places, right? Mm. It's not hard. It's not hard, but it freaks me out that people can't do that, you know?
Well, but on the other hand, people are not used to not doing that. And, you and me are used to being loners.
Yeah.
And so I do have some sympathy for those who want to go out, but it's a question of what you should do. I would say, okay, we got into phase 2 real quick there. What are we going to do about that? And of course, you live up in Ibaraki, so it's a different rules, right, than we have in Tokyo. So maybe you are in phase. Oh, that's why you're phase. You're not.
No, I thought it was Tokyo. I don't know.
Phase 3, totally. Okay.
I'm not.
That's
sure
probably a
about that
different level thing because you're in a different prefecture, right?
Sort of, but the part of Ibaraki that we're in is directly connected to Tokyo, so I think we're yeah.
Scuba Express.
Oh, here we go. We got a Herman Bartlett. According to the Japan Times, last Thursday, Japan entered phase 3 last Friday.
The whole Japan? Wow. Thanks, Herman.
Yeah. They shut down the Tokyo alert. They stopped lighting up the bridges red.
Okay.
And they went into phase 3.
Thanks for hanging out with us for so long. You've been a good friend through this.
You're a good man, Herman. But we got 74 new cases in Tokyo today.
Was it 74? I heard 30.
No. It was in the 70s.
Holy moly!
Yeah, it's gonna go up, man. Of course. Well, why wouldn't it? Why wouldn't it? Right? And it's all fake, right? The lady, did you see my post? Japan Times did a little check. Mm-hmm. April last year and April this year, 1,000 more people died than last year. Mm-hmm. There's no data about what they died of, but the total number of deaths has gone up by 1,000. And there are fewer suicides. There are probably fewer car accidents.
Well, man,
only 300.
I don't know what to say about this.
Okay,
I have no idea.
Let's get back to the music, man.
I'm a mask wearing, home staying guy. As far as that goes.
Rock and roll, man. I wear a cowboy mask.
Oh, really? I either wear a regular white one that we got a hold of, or a friend of mine who I did gigs for that we got to know through those gigs, his family's Obachan sent us 6 cloth masks each for me and Ayako, and that was so sweet. And we used them. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
What did you use them for? Like washing dishes and stuff?
No, they have little zebras and camping and trees on them.
That's
and
cool.
They feel better than the regular paper ones. Yeah, they're great.
Did you get your Abe masks?
Eventually, yeah, about 3 weeks ago.
I didn't get mine.
We're gonna. I don't know what we're gonna do with them. They're funny.
So, dude, I want to go into Thunder Song.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and boy, I could talk about that.
Right?
Yeah.
So you give us a little snippet.
Okay.
Thunder song snippet.
All right. I had a great friend who had issues with depression before I knew what that was. Mm-hmm. And I felt that there were certain things that you shouldn't run away from that were scary and you have to face in life. And at the same time, I was recalling a wonderful trip I had with a friend of mine, Michael Brody, from Colorado. We took a trip from Colorado down south, New Mexico, and up to Utah. And we saw the most beautiful skies, pink skies, and thunder clouds, and it was an amazing trip, and we weren't afraid of approaching anything. And that all came together in the Thunder Song.
Wow. So so Michael Brody was the guy who had depression, or that was somebody else?
That was somebody else.
Okay. Well, I was.
Yeah, just got to make that clear. I mean, I don't know if Michael has depression.
Michael, how you feeling, man?
I don't think so. I just started talking about. He's actually he's a groovy guy, and he runs a film festival now in Crested Butte in Colorado.
Oh, nice.
And we've been talking to each other lately.
Yeah, my mom's in Colorado now.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, hiding out in the mountains.
Oh.
Good place to be. Okay, here we go. Thunder Song.
I like this version of the song, except for one 2-second place. And if you can identify it, I will give you a prize.
Okay, everybody, find the 2-second place. It sucks. And let us know.
I haven't thought of the prize yet.
And you get a prize from Eric. Yeah.
Yeah, which I haven't thought of yet. Let's play a song called Thunder Song.
Even there's a microphone standing in the room. We'll sing another thunder song. It goes boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Looking like New Mexico. Colors come 100,000 miles. Dance upon your eyes. Dance upon your eyes. We're driving down the road to lonely. But on the way there's me and you. And if we don't forget to stop when there's a view, we won't be lonely for a moment. Or two. We won't be lonely. We won't be lonely. We won't be lonely. Wind is pushing harder now. There's crackle in the air. We listen for the thunder song. Is the boom, boom there? Is the boom, boom there? Boom. Is the boom, boom there? It's Thunder Song. Thanks for staying. 最後まで言ってくれてありがとうございます。
Dude, tell me about you. That's a cool song. I have not heard that.
Oh, really? Oh, cool. Yeah.
This is new to me. Yeah, I really like it.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. That was a good version of that song, I think. And that gig was a gig with relatively few people there. We had done a packed gig a few months before. And they asked us to be, one of the bands of four. And but that song was like I said, it was. It's somehow, isn't it? It's right now. I'm like, where can I get those two images? Like a friend that is really depressed, is looking at bad things in life as, or of course, terrible things are terrible,
Yeah.
But bad things that get you down don't have to get you down. They're terrible, but life sucks sometimes. And so at that time I was relatively stable, and this person was not yet diagnosed with clinical depression, and so I was trying to figure out what's going on. What's
Yeah.
going on? If there's something that is there to upset us, that's part of life. Like a distant cloud on the horizon on this road trip. For some reason, it came together with Michael's road trip with me. We took 10 days. We went south. We had a great time. We went to Arches National Park. I think it's Arches. And Monument National Park in Utah. You can look them up. Beautiful places.
That's crazy, right?
Messenger eagles came and went, and it was crazy. And we stinked really bad by the time we got back to Boulder, Colorado. But I'm just thinking about like that verse when it says after you're driving and I wake you up and we've been through the worst of this, but we still see the distant lightning, and we stop by a little place and it's a little bar with a stage and a microphone, and we sing our lightning, we sing our thunder, we sing our sadness in order to get it out of us. We face it, we look at it, we're not afraid of it. We say, hi, how you doing? This is how it feels. And we don't just say, no, it's terrible. We open our doors and say, hello, sadness. Hello, terribleness. I'm going to take the microphone, stand on the stage, and sing a thunder song. And that's what that song is about. And I like the way it evolves, and it's a sad but beautiful song. Someone I love, New Mexico. You're looking like New Mexico, where colors come 100,000 miles and dance upon your eyes. I think that's a good line.
That's good, man.
That's a sweet song. I actually first played it on a keyboard, rarely.
Oh, really? You don't normally, do keyboard songs, yeah.
Yeah. I'm not sure which came first. Maybe I first did it on
It was a chicken,
guitar,
man. It was
but I played
definitely
it on
chicken.
a keyboard for a while. I don't play the keyboard, by the way, but I played it.
No.
But what bugged me was at the when I was playing at the place for a mainly Japanese audience who did not know what I was singing about. Right before the last verse, where I say the wind is blowing harder now, there's crackle in the air. I did the classic. I just wanted them to think I was cool, and I went. And that wasn't appropriate for the song. Yeah. That was you want me to do that one more? What did you say? Yeah. I mean, that was such a cheap thing to do on a D chord, right? And I was making a pose. I was trying to be cool.
Well, that's a Led Zeppelin thing, though, man.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's an everything thing. But I thought that was a cheap thing to do. And I was thinking too hard. And I remember, what am I going to do in this moment? So I was thinking overthinking. So
Yeah.
So if anybody writes that, or if anybody has written that already, they get the prize.
So, for me, man.
Oh,
If you feel
I
it-
would guess it was the 2 seconds when the singing starts.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you saw that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm guessing it was a 2 seconds thing start. Is that the 2 seconds that were bad?
No, not when the singing starts. It was.
Nope.
it
Sorry, Mark.
Goes to the end of the song. Sorry, Mark. I don't regret that. It might not have been good, but I don't regret it.
Okay, so you had more than 2 seconds that sucked, man.
Oh yeah, but I'm just talking about the 2 seconds that I regret.
That you regret. Okay.
There are places that suck that you don't regret because there's nothing you can do about it before or afterhand. But at that time, that was the 2 seconds that I thought I had done something inappropriate to my artistry.
The last 2 seconds of the song.
No, not last 2 seconds. It's like just before the last verse. You can see I go, "Wham, bam, 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 wham, bam, bam, bam." And it's like I didn't have to do that.
That wasn't cool. Okay.
No, I thought it wasn't cool. And that kept me from showing people this video because I was so ashamed of, "Wham, bam, bam, bam." But actually, I like the rest of the song. The first 2 seconds when I'm singing, I'll have to review that. But yeah, sometimes it takes a little time to get on tune. So sorry about that.
Mark just wanted the free prize.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Good try. Good try, buddy.
Yeah, I missed it, man.
No.
Mark
No,
has these guitar fingers that fuck up the world, man.
Oh, really? I want to see them.
He's a
someday.
maestro, man.
Yeah.
He's crazy. Me and Herman did some stuff with him when he was in
Oh, really?
Japan. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. No free prize. No free prize unless you get the pam, 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 pam. But it's too late now.
I got something new for you, Mark. So we'll hook up soon.
As a consolation prize?
Well, no, just communicating to a fellow musician. So I want to show you what I'm eating, man.
Kuri?
That is
What is it?
a peanut butter cup.
Oh, weird. Okay. Never seen them?
These are organic peanut butter cups.
Ooh.
My mom,
Sent them?
yeah, she bought like 10 of them. And America is very, very strict about buying too much shit at the same time, right?
But
And
she
she's
did
like-
it for you.
and
You
she's
have
like-
a very sweet mom. I have met her, and I will attest that Jeffrey's mom is one of the sweetest moms in the world. And groovy.
Groovy, very groovy, yeah. Sweet and groovy. And she was just like, I'm buying these for my son in Japan. And everybody was like, okay. They're yours.
Sweet and groovy. I should write that down.
Yeah, man. Okay. I think I want to play Summertime, if that's okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
That's just a beautiful, carefree, happening song. Yeah.
And no offense, but I think it's one of the best sounding.
Oh, well, no. Yeah, because we did it at your place.
Of course, yeah. I have to appeal to my... Yeah. Summertime is cool. So we have these one-take parties.
Yeah.
And...
Which I've been hoping to go to again. And just... but maybe now I can because I don't have any work. Oh.
Right? Well, I have a stage now out in the backyard there.
Oh, yeah, right.
So I'm
right,
thinking
right.
about doing some live concerts. We're trying to figure out
Outside,
how many
which
people
makes
can
it
come.
allowed, right? If it's outside. We're not in a booth that's like all, yucko.
So we like split up into 6 sections, do the thing. I've got some good speakers.
Yeah, but let's check that out because that was a very good time. That was
Crazy good. Crazy good. Yeah. And this is Eric being happy and sounding good.
So, Janica, don't you think so? We should go outside and drink some beers in the big garden where the greener grasses grow. I will bring some paper with me. We can write a book of poetry as we gaze at sunset with our faces red aglow. Because it's summertime, my guy and I can. Summertime and I love you. Yes, it's a summer, my guy and I can. Summertime and I love you. Rain has stopped at least for today. The summer bugs are buzzing as they give the trees a voice to sing with. Go trees, go. Whoa, 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 whoa. The rain has stopped at least for today. The summer bugs are buzzing as they give the trees a voice to sing with. Go trees, go. River swims with fishes and the little kids are fascinated. Daddy comes to tell them they're not tadpoles, just minnows. Because it's summertime, my chigainaku. Summertime and I love you. Yes, it's summer, my chigainaku. Summertime and I love you. All right, all right. But now the sky is coming, it's dark and thunder, flashing light. It makes me wonder, maybe we should go home soon. But not right now, cause today's the day that lasts forever. I couldn't even dream it better. Rain cool our bodies down, this garden's now our home. Because it's summertime, my chigainaku. Summertime and I love you. Yes, it's a summer, my chigainaku. Summertime and I love you. So, Janika, don't you think so? We should go outside and drink some beers in the big garden where the greener grasses grow. I will bring some paper with me. We can write a book of poetry as we gaze at sunset with our faces red aglow. Because it's summertime, my chigainaku. Summertime, oh, and I love you. Yes, it's a summer, my chigainaku. Summertime and I love you. Oh yeah, it's summertime, my chigainaku. Summertime, I love you. Yes, it's summertime.
That was fun. That was fun. That was a great party. Baby.
That was crazy, man. You rock.
That was a great party.
Yeah.
And Andy, thank you, Andy, wherever you may be.
Yeah. I miss Andy. I wanna give Andy a big hug.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Actually, I might have given Andy a big hug on the train on the way back home that day.
I'm sure you did. It was inevitable.
Yeah.
That was a great time, huh?
Jeez Louise.
Wow.
It certainly was. And I thank you for all the, I mean, to me, the best party is a jam party.
Mm.
And we've done that at your house. We've done that at Earth
Virgin
Studio.
Earth? Virgin Earth?
Is that what it's called? Earth Studio?
Yeah, Virgin Earth. Virgin Earth.
Yeah, Virgin Earth. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus. Richard? Yeah.
Richard. Richard
you,
Kipnis,
Richard.
the big man Richard Kipnis.
Jeez Louise. Oh.
Yeah, great stuff, huh?
Those, I mean, that's just hanging out and playing music is, you know, good, bad, whatever. Just let's play. That's the most fun, right? To
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, totally, right?
So
Makes you feel good.
it makes you feel good, right? It makes you lock into other people.
Yeah. Yeah, that connection.
An
Sometimes,
immediate connection. Yeah.
yeah, like the sort of clusterfuck jams are kind of weird, but
Well, that's another thing. Sometimes that can go well, but just now I'm going back to my Massachusetts Arlo Guthrie upbringing, but my father also listened to my Democratic McGovern, Massachusetts father um, had Woody Guthrie albums, and you could just hear them. He would be playing with gosh, I wish I got the names of his jam mates, but you could just hear them just, okay, the tape recorder's rolling, let's go. Today has been a lonesome day, and it's very rough, and it's just, but it's still, they're just all together, singing together.
yeah.
And it was in the moment and happening right then.
Yeah.
And that's what makes those kind of recordings so special. You know, you couldn't do it over. You only
Yeah.
had so much tape.
Yeah.
And when the tape ran out, the guy was going home. So it was just although the sound quality was just, my father had these old records of really old recordings. He loved these old folky things.
Mm-hmm.
But you could hear these guys jamming out, man.
Yeah, they got it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what I thought music was.
That's what music is, man.
Yeah.
Well, it's sort of it's evolved, right?
My father and I, he didn't play much when he was older, but he'd love to go. He had a Lead Belly album of Lead Belly singing "Irene Goodnight," and Lead Belly wrote "Irene Goodnight." Yeah. Irene, good night. Good night, Irene, good night. Good night, Irene. Good night, Irene. I'll see you in my dreams. Sometimes I live in the country. Sometimes I live in the town. Sometimes I have the great notion to jump in the river and drown. And it was jump in the river and drown. That's the kind of song for me. It was like, I was like, depression, face your depression. Sing it out, baby. To jump in the river and drown. I mean, to jump in the river. And then there's another Woody Guthrie song that was on a record that we had when we were a little kid. And I'd go back from college to my father's home. And I'm looking, this Woody Guthrie record. And my father goes, do you remember which song you used to sing the most? And I was thinking, Gypsy Rose or something like that. And no, he said he is the one who reminded me that I sang Today has been a lonesome day. Today has been a lonesome day. Today has been a lonesome day, and it looks like the tomorrow's be the same old way. So I used to sing that song.
Is that Woody Guthrie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when he reminded me of it, I remembered sitting on the front porch singing it without a guitar, just singing it.
Mm-hmm.
And my dad reminded me that was the song that I sang off of that album more than anything else.
Today has been a long... What are the words again? Today has been a lonesome day.
Has been a lonesome day. Today has been a lonesome day. Today has been a lonesome day. And it looks like tomorrow will be the same old way.
Today's been a lonesome day. Today's been a lonesome day. Today's been a lonesome day. Looks like tomorrow will be the same old way. Something like that?
Something like that. Yeah, but I like the way you were singing it. Your guitar could have been adjusted a little bit, but yeah.
I don't know the chords yet. Oh, it starts from a C.
Yeah, baby.
I was starting from a G, man.
Today has been a lonesome day. And then F. Today has been a lonesome day. F. Today's been, let's see, a lonesome day, G. It looks like tomorrow will be the same old way.
Okay, let me try.
You got it.
Today's been a lonesome day. Today's been a lonesome day.
You don't got it.
I'm missing it.
No, you got to
Today's been a lonesome day.
We're obviously not brought up on
Tomorrow
Guthrie.
will be the same old way.
Yeah, no.
No, didn't get it.
We'll work on it later.
Yeah.
Not when 5 million people are watching us on live stream.
7 million people are watching now, and I just...
7?
just fucked it all up. Not 6, but 7.
Wow, baby.
But my peanut butter cups are delicious.
And I'm really glad.
Okay, so I think that we need to do another... We gotta sing a song together, man.
Really? Didn't we already sing a song together?
No, we gotta do one more. We gotta do one more and say goodbye to everybody.
Song. It's too late. I don't want to bother the neighbors, baby.
No?
11 o'clock.
What's the name of the Woody Guthrie song? Question from Herman Bartlett.
Oh.
Today has been a lonesome day?
Lonesome Day, I think.
Lonesome Day.
And I had that, or my father had it on a, I almost had the label in my head. But they, it came back again and it went away. I can see the album. But yeah, Woody Guthrie, Lonesome Day, you can probably find it, yeah. And it seems like it's almost a happy song if you don't really listen to the words. They're going, today has been a lonesome, in a way. But also, it's kind of weird. And so I had a song also that mentioned the fact that when I liked Woody Guthrie songs, my sister would say, whoa, that's weird. It sounds like a ghost singing. And it was kind of those old recordings. And she wasn't all that interested. She's a groovy girl, a wonderful artist. But she was like, whoa, it sounds like a ghost. And I agree. She didn't get into Woody quite as much as I did.
So you like ghosts.
And also, I had a girlfriend in Boulder my first year. She's a wonderful girl and wonderful woman.
Oh, I had a girlfriend in Boulder too. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're nice.
But we went on a ski trip with some friends, and so we're all having a great time. We go skiing at Vale. We got her sister's condo. We're doing great. I stick in the Woody Guthrie tape.
They send you
And
home.
it's like, no. I was like, oh, this is this is the greatest. And then my girlfriend was like, no, that's not going to happen.
So she broke up with you after that?
We broke up a few times, but that was the first sign of trouble.
Well, if she
But
doesn't love Woody.
I don't blame her. I do not blame her at all. It was all me.
Dude, no, you love Woody, man.
Yeah, I loved Woody, and Bob loved Woody, and I didn't know that at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Bob met Woody.
yeah, in the hospital. Man.
Yeah.
So and when that all came together, and I felt like a part of that. You know, I've seen Arlo and Pete. I never saw Woody, but of course I've seen Bob. But Arlo was my connection to that whole thing. I thought I had a real connection to that. Joan Baez came to our elementary school playground.
Oh, really?
And played, yeah, when I was pretty little. Because it's all Northeast type of thing. You said you had a Massachusetts connection. What was your?
I went to school at UMass.
Okay,
In
right.
Amherst.
You went to school at UMass.
Yeah.
Where were you were brought up in Texas, but went to
Ah,
school
New
in
Jersey. I was brought up in New Jersey,
Yeah, okay.
and we spent our summers in Vermont,
Okay.
and we had, the whole sort of New England connection, right?
Right. Okay.
But
Yeah,
I went to camp when I was 17, 16, 17.
Mhm.
And Pete sang there.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
at your camp?
Yeah, his son was there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was cool.
You're kidding.
Yeah. Yeah, like
That's
out in the
cool.
field. No amps or anything, just like guitar and voice. Yeah, it was cool.
Oh, wow.
No.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Did you like it at the time?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, I grew up on that, right?
Okay. So I'm just making sure that.
Yeah, I just grew up on folk singers, right? I mean, it was like, that was, if anybody sang anything around me, it was folk music,
Okay.
And we spent our summers in Vermont,
Yeah.
which was like hippie central, right?
Right. So you probably just drove right through my town. Going from New Jersey to Vermont up Route 7.
Route, what was it? I don't know the
Maybe.
name of the road.
Well, after you get past New York, you might take the Taconic State Parkway up until Albany or so, but then you got to
No.
take a right and go towards Vermont. But I don't think there's too many direct roads to Vermont, so you got to go to Massachusetts first, unless I'm mistaken. And I apologize to the Vermont residents if I'm mistaken.
No, we would go. It wasn't the New York Thruway. We would go up through Massachusetts, through Connecticut.
Right, and Western Massachusetts. So you go up through Route 7, go right through my town, Williamstown. Probably.
Maybe no, like they were like highways.
Yeah.
What was the highway? I can't remember.
Well,
I was on it recently.
Okay.
I just can't remember.
If you're going to Vermont, well, we'll talk about it. I loved the trip. My family was originally from New York City, so we would always go from northwestern Massachusetts to New York via either the New York Thruway or the Taconic State Parkway.
Uh huh.
I don't know if that rings a bell for you.
Both of them ring serious bells, man.
Chronic State Parkway was very beautiful. And,
Oh, it's a great drive.
It would always be a wonderful drive to the Parkway, especially. But if you want to go to Vermont from there, I wonder where you would go east to Vermont if you went. I don't know if the Taconic State went any further than that.
It wasn't.
And
I don't know what
New
the
York
names are.
Thruway
now.
went up to Albany, so you gotta start going east after that.
No, they have roads, man. They have other roads.
No roads in Western Massachusetts.
No. There was like a highway.
A north-south highway?
Totally, from Springfield up through Amherst, up into Vermont, man.
Oh, if you go as far as Amherst, then maybe there was. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
We were wester than Amherst. Yeah.
More westerly.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So, getting one last song?
To listen to or to play? I don't know if I could play anymore.
Can't play anymore. Okay.
Proud human being.
So, listen to. What are we going to listen to?
What is there? I don't think there's anything left.
We've got Oh Mama. We've got Wash Your Hands.
Oh, well, that's appropriate.
Right?
Yeah.
Should we do Wash Your Hands?
Well, I had a good time with that, and there's some pretty cute kids there. And we made that last November.
Mm-hmm.
And with the family of the father used to be the student of my wife Ayako a long time ago when he was a kid.
Really?
And then he had kids, but they stayed friends for a long time. And so we wanted to make a wash thing for flu season, and then lo and behold, it became this season.
The mega flu season has kimashita.
So the first washing hands is not up to the CDC rules, but after that it gets better.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see that. Because
let's go for that.
That's reminiscent of what I used to do on TV, and I kind of did that on purpose.
Yeah. Okay. So here we go. Wash your hands.
Yeah, baby.
No, it didn't happen. Gotta try it again. I tried to do the sexy thing and it didn't work. Okay, so I'm gonna push the button with my left hand, and I'm gonna do the sexy thing with my right hand. You ready?
Wash, 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 wash your hands. Wash, 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 wash your hands. All right. Okay, now dry, 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 dry your hands. Dry, 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 dry your hands. All right. Wash, 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 wash your hands. Wash, 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 wash your hands. All right. Dry, 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 dry your hands. Dry, 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 dry your hands. Good job.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Are we back?
We are back.
Oh, we are back, yes.
So I recently went back to Massachusetts.
Oh, really?
Yeah, last summer.
To Amherst?
Yeah, I went to Amherst.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Great.
I brought my son.
Uh-huh.
I wanted to show him the foliage.
Oh,
right?
beautiful.
Because Japanese are like, oh yeah, we have great foliage. And I was like, dude, you need to see what foliage means, right? Because they wrote the book about foliage in Vermont, right? And
In Vermont and in Williamstown and North Adams, they have the Fall Foliage Festival.
oh, F.
Yes.
Sexy.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh no, that whole area is just unbelievable.
And the timing was we were a little bit early.
Uh huh.
And I was like, I didn't know it was gonna happen.
So Dad was like, "Sorry, man." It's not so great.
No. What happened was, because this is crazy, because,
Tell me.
no, but I'm sure you experienced this. You don't think it's going to happen. You want it to happen, and then you go there and it happens.
Oh yeah.
Right? So we were early, and I was like negotiating all these things. I had like Leon had to go these places to see these people and everything.
Right.
And we got to New York State. Stayed at my friend Doug's father's house.
Mm-hmm.
And we were like, there's no foliage.
Right.
Right? And like we have a day or two. And I want my son to see Vermont.
Right.
Right? The fucking
What month was this? October?
it was late September.
Right.
Right?
Mhm.
So it was on the edge. Right?
Right.
And then we left New York State and we're driving up
Right.
and then it happens. Right? And it's just like, fuck. Cause you go to Nico,
Mm-hmm.
you like it's impressive. It's impressive, but Vermont fucks you up. The colors and the immensity of all the fucking trees, right? And Leon slept through the first half, right? And I got up into the mountains and it was just like, wow, this is crazy, right? Because I was really worried that there would be no leaf changing, right?
Right.
So we get there, I wake him up, and he's like, "Wah!" And then we go down to the next town, and we buy some coffee. And the woman at the coffee shop is like, we had nothing yesterday. It just hit.
Right.
And everything changed. So I feel thankful and grateful for that.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how long ago was that? You said
Last year in
Last
September.
year. Oh,
Yeah.
Great. Yeah.
Yeah. Back when we could move around. Yeah.
Oh man. No, I totally relate to it because that's where I was. I mean, I could walk to Vermont from my house, and I have
Nice.
very many times.
Yeah.
We lived right in the northwest corner of Massachusetts, and my very good friend lived in Vermont, and we had a pond that we could swim in, and it was just right there. And no, yeah, I mean, people in Colorado would also say, "Oh, the aspen trees. I love the aspen trees, but they're all yellow, okay, and that's a great color." We had yellow. We had orange, we had purple, we had red, we had green, we had every single color you want. Right? Yeah.
Oh, Vermont. Yeah. No one knows fall like Vermont and Massachusetts, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Crazy shit.
Well, on that note,
Yeah. Another song?
shall we? No, I was going to say I'm not going to sing another song. It's past 11. I don't want to scare the neighbors.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah. Oh, we're in Japan now. Yeah.
So,
So
My house is relatively soundproof, but to play out loud at 23:11 is a little too much, I think.
Okay. I understand.
Yeah. But I appreciate, I really enjoyed this conversation with you, Jeffrey.
That's great, man. Yeah. Totally
And I
cool.
thank Herman, if he's still listening.
Oh,
We
Herman's
should
there. Herman's there.
just
Herman's
have a
there.
party and include you. And I thank all the other millions of people who are involved in this broadcast.
Yeah. Do
And
not do anything
it's
that we
very fun.
suggested during this broadcast.
No, I think I behaved myself pretty well. Yeah.
Oh, we're good. We actually we didn't really do anything that was sort of, anti-government or anything.
Oh yeah, I'm not worried about that. I'm just concerned about not saying behaved myself. Behaved myself very well. I want to be a responsible, sober, behaving person. And just now I said well. So I don't like that as far as that goes. But we'll discuss
No,
that
that was
later.
good. That was good though.
Thank you.
Okay. So last
you, man.
question. Last question.
Oh, last question. Yeah.
What's the meaning of
Any
life,
question?
man?
What?
What's the meaning of life?
What was it? According to the
42?
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, it was
42.
what was it? 41
42.
or 42? Off by one. That is the story of my life.
Off by one. Eric Jacobson. Off
Yeah.
by
Off
one.
by one. Well, yes. That's what I think. Yeah, I think I solved the problem.
Oh, we got some comments from Herman. It was great to hear you two talk. I love the music. Another one. Now I can get a drink. I've waited this whole time. Herman, you haven't been drinking? That's the whole thing about a wine talk. Shima and wine talk. You're supposed to be drinking through the whole thing.
No, he was waiting for our emotional breakthrough, and I just got the -1 thing. I'm always off by one. And
Oh, shit.
Well, let me just.
Okay,
think
so
Herman's
Eric
gotten
is
me
-1, so Herman can now drink.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you
Cheers.
so much,
Cheers.
Jeffrey and Herman.
We love you
And
guys.
everybody else in the throngs that are listening to the wine talks. I appreciate it. And I appreciate Jeffrey for bringing things out in me that I needed. Brought out. Thanks, man.
Thank you for entrusting me with that purpose, man.
Yeah. Oh, man. So
But
what? Are we still on the air here?
No, totally. We're so far on the air that we've got like 1,000 people watching.
So how do we finish this up?
Okay, so I think we need to do an acapella song.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what do? We do. Can you do Miles from Nowhere?
Nope.
You don't even know that, do you?
If I heard it, I'd know it.
Miles from nowhere. Guess I'll take my time. Oh yeah. To reach there.
I know. I guess I don't know it.
Ah, you're not a Cat Stevens dude, huh?
Cat Stevens, nah. Yeah, good old Cat Stevens. Yeah, if I heard his version, I probably know. But, I have something about Cat Stevens. Ever since he wanted to kill, what's his name? I've been,
Oh,
sorry.
what's
That's
that?
political too, but, what's his name? Yeah. Well, I love Cat Stevens' music, but I was always a little bit uncomfortable. What was it? What's the guy's name?
Okay, so we do a cappella version of
I don't know. I don't want to do an a cappella version of anything. I'm good. I'm good.
You're good. So Eric's good, everybody.
No.
Okay, so everybody fuck off.
No, I did not say that. Love. It's a fight, but there's got to be love involved.
I love you, man. I love you, man. I'm gonna kick your ass.
Well, that's the theme. Wow. Wow. Okay. Yeah. This is what happens when you do a wine talk for 3 hours instead of 2, right? Oh.
No, actually, it's 3 hours and 20 minutes.
And 20 minutes. Yeah, it's great.
Oh.
Yeah. No, I've had a great time. Yeah.
Oh, it's been totally awesome, man.
Nice to see your room too.
Right?
I like being at your house.
Got the Tibetan flag in the background there.
Yeah.
Have you ever been in
is that
Tibet?
a real background? That's real, right?
It's real, yeah.
It almost looks fake with the colors.
The lighting is kind of We're doing that weird lighting thing, huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
Have you ever been to Tibet?
Have I ever been to where?
Tibet.
Tibet. No, I have not. Unfortunately.
Yeah. It's a cool place. The Chinese kind of fucked it up,
Tibetan
but
flag?
that's the Tibetan flag. I got that. I was in Geneva with a woman from Fukushima who had to evacuate because of the nuclear disaster.
Uh-huh.
And they were making an appeal to the United Nations. One of the United Nations, I don't even know what you call them.
NGOs, groups.
No, well, yeah, like a group for social, economic, no, I don't know the
Guys
real
who
name.
see this video are gonna really want to use you.
Right? Totally. But she actually asked. She was one of the women in one of my films, right?
Okay.
And then she invited me to come to Geneva to present to the United Nations, right? So, yeah,
For you to present to the United Nations.
yeah, I've got a video of it actually, and
So as a gift, you got that Tibetan flag.
well, I got the Tibetan flag as a part of that, right?
Okay.
So we went there, and we stayed in a hotel close by, and we went to the presentation. I actually have a video of it. I'll send it to you later.
Okay.
And so there were like 50, like, so there is a United Nations contract with the world about human rights.
Okay. Right.
And most of the countries in the world have signed this.
Right.
Japan has signed it, but they have like 4 or 5 places where they have said, we don't agree to this. Like, we don't agree to women's rights. We don't agree to the rights of minorities. We don't agree,
No, really.
Yeah,
No.
so it was like
That's to look into. Oh.
right. So it was the United Nations human rights.
Uh-huh.
I cannot remember what
Right,
it was.
right. Okay.
Right. But so we went there, and there were. So it was Japan, Iran, and Tajikistan or whatever. These are the countries that are signed up to the Treaty of Human Rights, but have not actually done what they're supposed to do in terms of human rights. Right? So it was like 20 years ago that they had this like human rights
Right.
contract, right? And Japan signed it. And they said, we don't agree to Article 3, 4, whatever. Right? And they were supposed to like set up a commission, set up a non-government entity to accept people's claims about human rights violations. And they haven't done it. It's been 20 fucking years, right? They haven't done it. Right? So they have these things where they call the countries in and they say, okay. And they also call in the people from the countries to lodge their complaints, right? So we were able to go and make presentations to the United Nations.
We being who? Who are you representing? Japan?
I was representing a woman from Fukushima. Well, one MPO that asked her to come, and then she asked me to come.
Okay.
Right? So I made a presentation to the United Nations. So she wrote something in Japanese, and we worked through it. And then I made that presentation in English.
Oh, I see.
To them. And yeah, and there were like 50 something MPOs from Japan that were in Geneva complaining about Japan's human rights abuses.
Right.
Right? And we were just one of them.
Right.
And so we did that. And then in the afternoon, I don't know how important this is, but some of the people from the UN were like, we can't believe that Japan is ignoring their people.
Mm-hmm.
Why is Japan not paying attention to the people? So I raised my hand, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, Japan, especially Tohoku, right? So 311, right?
Right.
The tsunami, right? But for years, the northern area of Japan has just been a place to get rice and resources. And they haven't cared shit about the people there.
Mm-hmm.
And that has continued until now.
No.
Right? And I said that at the UN.
No.
Right?
Wow.
And then after that, we were like going around and seeing stuff. We went to the UN main building and stuff. And in front of the UN main building, there were like 150 candles and effigies and pictures and stuff of Tibetan monks who had set themselves on fire in protests of the Japanese government. Oh, no, the Chinese government. Right? Taking over Tibet and shit, right?
Yeah.
And I was in Tibet in the 80s, right? So I could say a few words in Tibetan.
Right.
Right? So basically I could say hello, right?
Right.
And so there was a husband and wife there. And they protest out in front of the UN every day. And they put out effigies of all of the monks who have there's what do you call it when you burn yourself to death?
Right. Immolation.
Yeah, something. Yeah. So there's like 100 little things there, right? And so I met them and talked to them, and I said "Kerang Gusimbe," how are you? That's all I could say, right? I didn't even know what they would say in response, right? But then I told them where I went to Tibet and they could speak some English. And they gave me this flag.
Ooh. Wow.
Which is pretty fucking cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, if there's something to, yeah.
Yeah, well, it's good. And it's a reminder of that it's not all that easy all around the world. And Jeffrey, you have been someone who's doing things like up in Tohoku. I see you going up there um, and you're doing things, and I really respect that. And I, you know, I've done some stuff, but you've been you've been a really doer and a shaker and just this, mentioning this also is just going out and saying we got to make things right, and that's something that you've been saying, and more than just saying, but going out and doing it, and I really appreciate that in you, and that's I respect that in you so much. Yeah.
Thank you, my man.
And it's an inspiration, so I gotta live up to that.
Dude, man, no, you give a lot of light, man.
Yeah.
You give mega light.
Trying to keep the light going, but yeah,
Yeah.
it's Louise.
It's hard. It's hard to keep the light going.
Yeah.
But I think that we are some of the people that have to do it regardless of anything else.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That we cannot give the light even though it's hard. Even though it feels like it's impossible. It's like we are the ones that have to keep giving the light. You know what I mean, man?
Meaning just about everybody, man.
Yeah.
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 I
Well,
mean,
good,
like
good. Yeah.
everybody needs it, but I think that you and I mean, there like many other people too, but I think that you and I are so full of mega light. And then cuz I know when I'm feeling down, when I'm feeling hard and I can't do anything, I have much more light than most people have. I think you're the same.
No, I hope that's true.
You know.
I get light from my daughter,
Mm.
who's 21 years old, and she gives me a list of charities to give to and say, hey, are you doing anything? Do you really care? So I said, okay. Um, she's really active.
That's
I'm
cool.
not to diminish what you're doing at all, but I've gotten. Sometimes I think yes, yeah, wake up, but that's the whole thing. It's the wake up. I think Jeffrey, you've been awake, but I'm trying to wake up. But I think this thing today woke me up also. I'm trying to wake the fuck up. And that's nice to have the Tibetan flag there. And it reminds you to just be alive and aware and do what you can.
Yeah, baby.
Right?
Exactly, man. Exactly.
Oh, man. Wow, yeah.
You know.
Good. Keep it going.
Yeah, keep it going. I mean, it's a you have to. It's a process. You just have to. It's like every day I am going to take a step forward.
Nice.
Today I'm going to do something I haven't done yesterday,
Right.
and now more than ever we have to do that.
Well, do you actually do that every day, or do you sometimes sleep until noon and just hang out and do nothing?
Dude, I can't sleep until noon. I would like to.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to, but my body is just like. So I
Go
run.
go!
So
You
I
seem
run.
like the go person. I don't sleep till noon, but I'll sleep until I need to. That's for sure.
I can't sleep, but it's hard for me to do. It's hard. It takes me time to be able to start doing stuff.
Uh huh.
So I wake up in the morning, and then I'll run. I run in the morning every day.
Oh, good for you.
and it like kind of calms me down, right? And then it takes me hours to be able to start actually doing something. Like to get going.
Right, right,
And once you get going, it kind of works, right?
right.
But not like usual. It takes so much more time than it used to.
Mhm. I
Yeah.
instead of running, I do the New York Times crossword puzzle.
Which is good.
Yeah,
Keep your
keeps
brain going, man.
my brain in shape. But my body's, this is really the first year in ever that I haven't automatically been exercising just on
Really?
stage like that Anderson Park thing you said. You see that I'm going up and down and everything, but I don't do that anymore. So
Dude, get out of that shit. You gotta,
yeah,
yeah.
I ride my bike sometimes, but it's not like every weekend. Taking all your stuff, going to the station, doing that, doing two 30-minute what do you call them? Uh, these workouts. They're basically big workouts doing 30-minute stages.
Hmm.
But so I used to always do that, and when that suddenly ends, you know, it's pretty surprising
Yeah.
that you can actually gain weight. I have never gained weight in my whole life, just about, but now I'm doing that. Yeah.
I've been gaining weight for like 10, 15 years.
Oh yeah,
And
baby.
I've been losing weight for the last year.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah.
I've been inspired by many people, and now you again. And now I have to look at my new life in a new way. Oh, we did buy shoes. We bought jogging shoes, like his and hers. No. I
Yeah.
started jogging for a little while.
No, dude. I have been exercising out of necessity
Hmm.
to stabilize my, because if I'm exercising and I'm sweating, I don't have it decreases my stress levels,
Right, right. Oh,
right?
yeah, absolutely,
You know.
absolutely. I mean, and when I did that all the time, it was natural, but I don't do that anymore, and it's the first time in my life that that's never happened. So
Wow.
I have to make the choice to do that,
Yeah.
and I haven't actually um, consistently made that choice yet. So, so are
Yeah.
we still on the air here
Oh,
or what? I
dude,
mean,
it's like, dude, we're getting close to 4 hours.
yeah. Well, good. Well, just
So
as a
we're not as old as we used to be,
yeah. Well,
or we're not
good.
as.
We're 3.5 hours. That's a good time to wrap it up.
I think so.
All the millions of people will be sad, but hey, I
But there
really
are
did
still people
enjoy
online.
this
Okay, so
conversation.
the last people who are still remaining,
Are there people?
there are still people watching. It looks
Oh,
like.
thank you so much. I love you all.
We love
I
you,
love you so
babies.
much.
Okay, so does anybody have a question for Eric?
Okay. Last.
Terrible, deep, insightful questions for
Yeah.
Eric. Anybody? Are
Or,
you out
or
there?
even just really
Little chat
you know,
message there.
surface weird questions.
Yeah.
What is your favorite pie?
Oh, we lost somebody.
Strawberry
Yeah. Oh, we
rhubarb
lost two
pie.
people. Oh, they're fading out, man.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, everybody. I really appreciate it. Yeah. My
So it was a good
favorite
time,
pie
man.
is strawberry rhubarb pie.
Okay, so let's end it up with an a cappella song.
I don't know if that's a good idea, man.
You're
What would we
totally out of
do?
that whole
Oh,
thing, yeah.
do you know this? You're wondering now what to do.
Two.
Now you
Oh,
know this
this
is
is
the
the
end.
end.
Do you remember that song?
Oh yeah, not at all. You're wondering now what to do.
But we can't do it together because
No.
this is this.
I can only do it with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you don't know the song, so you can't do it. But this was a ska song in the early 80s by the Specials. Yeah.
The Specials.
Yeah. Did
I've
you
never
love
heard of
the
the Specials.
Specials like I did? You're wondering now what to do. Now you know this is the end.
This is the end. That's cool,
You're
huh?
wondering how you will pay for the way you did me in.
That's cool, man.
We'll have to look it up. The Specials. You're wondering now. Oh, wow. So that was one of the things me and my folk buddy Sal and Nobody got off on because we both liked that and we would sing it in harmony in the hills of Enzan.
In the hills of where?
Enzan, Yamanashi. Yeah.
Whoa, cool, man.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay, we got to get out of here.
Yeah, I think it's important that we as older people end before the last one ended. It's only fair, right?
I don't understand the last thing you said, but hey, yes.
No, the previous wine talk went for like 4 hours plus, right?
We got to get out of here.
Yeah.
I thank you so much, Jeffrey. You are a gentleman and a lovely host.
Dude, and you are a great fucking guest, man, and an amazing
Thank you.
musician.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, if you give me a little review of this interview, then maybe I won't even. I probably will. Say, don't ever show this again.
No, I think that we should write a song together. Right?
It's a whole nother story.
Yeah.
Well, you've inspired me and you've made me think of things. That's for sure. So that's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, awesome.
So nice to talk.
Yeah, so nice to play, sing.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, love your music. Love what you're
love you,
doing.
man.
Yeah, looking forward to the future.
Yeah. Let's look forward to the future.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
All right.
Eventually, I think we can do it.
On that note, baby, I'm out of here.
Adios. Muchas gracias.
Bye. Thank you, Jeffrey. And
Amayo.
thank you, everybody. See you, Herman. I love you. And
See you on the other side.
I love you. See you on the other side. 1, 2, 3.
Where's my mouse? My mouse is in a world that I do not know. Okay, goodbye, Eric. Okay, everybody. Thank you very much for watching. See you again soon.